few seconds.
Naomi. We won with the delivery apps today.
No, did you see that?
Listen, I'm all over it.
All right, we're live already, Cesar, so we can proceed.
We can start until we have quorum. So I only have Robin, Gerard, and myself. So I would need these two new members. Maybe let me make some calls and make sure that these people get in. Let me be a whip.
Where are you over there? Over there?
It's Robert. Robert, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm looking upside down.
I like that skylight you got going on over there.
Rob, you never been here?
Well, I don't know what here is.
Me?
Where is that, JP?
With a hat, Julan hat.
Oh, he's got a Julan hat.
Because I can't get my damn haircut. I have no choice.
I don't have a
You got
Julan
a
hat.
haircut? You got to own it, Rob. Come on.
No, I can't own it. Trust me. And David, I taught my daughter how to shave. She's gonna shave me tonight. After this meeting, I'm going in for the buzz, baby.
What?
Yes, Jenny, you wanna say something?
Now, months ago, a cap on the number and amount of fees that third-party delivery.
Jonathan, perhaps that person has no business being here. Not sure.
Okay. Okay.
Oof.
Ebenezer,
Diga, señor.
will you be so kind and please call Rosie to see if she can come to the meeting because we need her for quorum,
Sure.
please.
This one doesn't have no camera. No camera, but this one. This is also we have camera and the microphone. This one is not on. No.
How many members do you need, Cesar, to have quorum?
5.
5?
Yeah. Well, this is supposed to be joining us pretty soon.
Currently, we have 32 participants.
I'm sorry? We have Waldis that I just spoke with, and he'll be joining us pretty soon. Evan is calling Rosie. Once she comes in, we will have quorum.
Naomi.
Isidro, I called Rosie Isidro and left a voicemail. She didn't pick up the phone. I'm gonna send her an email that, right now.
Isidro, Jonathan, I just got, I saw Ashley is trying to come in. If she can get a link, Ashley Fernandez.
He's asking for a link to join a meeting.
Yes, is she on the committee? I'm not sure.
I guess everybody received this email. Shanil, can you please confirm whether this person received the email invitation or not?
Yeah, I sent her the link again. Yes.
Chanel, I'm sending it to you.
I'm sorry?
I'm just sending what, I don't think she had you on the email, Chanel. So I just put you on it.
Okay.
Sid, you're off. I cannot hear you.
Thank you, Rob.
No problem.
So we have quorum now. So I'd like to open up this meeting by welcoming everyone to the licensing committee of May 12th for 2020, meeting under this very extreme and strange circumstances. I can say that I'm very happy to see you even remotely. The pandemic that just hit us for a couple of months, it is something that we're going to be addressing for a long, long time. I hope that we will learn something from it. I'm not going to give you the details, you know, the specifics. I'm happy to see you all. Really, really happy. I hope that this will be the last meeting that we're going to have virtually because I'm tired of being home. I'm just tired. I'm just going to allow Jonathan to give you some instructions how we're going to proceed on the meeting, meaning like where you can watch the meeting, where this meeting can be recorded, and all of that. Jonathan, so you have the floor.
Yes, basically, after any presentation, so you'll have the opportunity to raise your hand, and we will give you the opportunity to speak for 1 or 2 minutes, depending on the topic. This meeting it's been broadcasting on our YouTube channel. Like I said, the name of our YouTube channel is CB12M NYC. So I encourage you guys to subscribe, and our Facebook page will be also live there. The name of the page is NYC CB12M. So that's it. So another important thing is please keep all your mics mute, and only unmute it whenever you need to talk. In that way you can have a more smooth sound. So that's all.
Isidro, we can't hear.
Again, Sid.
You're muted, Isidro.
Thanks, Rob. So we're going to start introducing the committee members, after which we're going to proceed to introduce the officers. And after that, we're going to introduce some elected officials or representatives. I see that Natalie is here. And we're going to open up, Jonathan, those that I can recall that are the representatives from the elected governments, the local governments. I'll let you know who's who. So Jonathan, once the committee members introduce themselves, we're going to allow the precincts to introduce themselves, and then we're going to introduce Natalie. So committee members, please introduce yourselves one by one, starting with Gerard. Gerard, unmute yourself.
Excuse me. Good evening, everybody. Gerard Dangle here. Thank you.
Robin Cruz.
Good evening, Robin Cruz.
Cindy.
Good evening,
Cindy.
Cindy.
Waldis, are you online? Rosie.
Here, I'm Rosie. Good evening.
Hi, Rosie. Welcome.
Thank you.
Are we missing any committee members?
Yeah,
Waldis.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was having a little trouble getting access, but now I'm here.
Am I missing any committee members?
Yeah, Isidro, you're missing Ashley.
Ashley, please introduce yourself.
Ashley Fernandez, one of the committee members for licensing. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Now we're going to introduce officers, starting with 33rd. Do we have any officers on 33rd precinct?
Hi, it's Lieutenant Concepcion from the 33rd precinct.
Welcome, Lieutenant. Now we move to 34th precinct.
Detective Matthew Penna from the 34th precinct.
Hey, it's Officer Martinucci, 34th precinct.
Lieutenant Gutierrez, 34th precinct.
Very well. Natalie, please introduce yourself. Natalie Espino.
Good evening. Yes, good evening. This is Natalie Espino from the Office of Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Natalie. So for the representatives, attorneys that might not be registered as a panelist, if you come in and you want to say something, please raise your hand. Identify that you are either an attorney or a representative, and then we're going to, we can upgrade you to a panelist, right? That way you can have access to speak, right? Is that right, Jonathan? Jonathan, is that right? That you can upgrade those that need to speak but are not on the panelist side of it. You can open them up so they can be able to speak. Would that be right?
Right.
I take that as a yes. Jonathan, do I take that as a yes?
Yes, you're right. So you can proceed. So when anyone from the on the side need to talk, so we can unmute their mic.
Very well. So between the committee members, we divided the task. So Waldis, you be taking care of what was the assignment?
The Q&A and checking out the hand raising.
Very well. So you can work with Jonathan to see how you can manage that. Feel free to communicate via chat. Gerard, I understand you'll be taking the voting tally, right?
I will be doing that, yes.
Yes. Cindy, you'll be dealing with the steps, right? Cindy Matos.
Yes.
And Rosie, I understand that you have volunteered yourself to, or brave enough to take the minutes. Very well. So usually we're going to proceed as we have done in the past. We're going to hear specific licenses, after which we're going to ask, and we're going to switch around just to make it fast. And I think that is going to save time. Before we will ask the precincts to say what they have to say. This time around, we're going to allow the merchants to give us the specifics. That way, questions that the president might have will not have to be asked. So I think that's going to save time. So the order of business will be, we're going to hear from the merchants, then the precincts, then residents, then the committee. We're going to have an open chat. We're going to discuss the licenses. Do you have any questions? If you guys need to go to the restroom, you don't need keys because you're home. Very well. So let's move forward. Let's open up for the first liquor license, which is Grito Mexican Grill, which is agenda item number 1. This is a renewal. Officer Pena, this is within the jurisdiction of the 34th precinct. This place, I've been there for a couple of times. It's a really nice place. What are the comments? I'm sorry, we're dealing with the merchants first. Do we have a representative from the Mexican Grito Grill?
Aurelia Tavares for Grito Mexican Grill. I also have Sylvia Duran, the owner. She's working and she's listening. So if you need her to chime in on any questions, we're available.
Any issues with Mexican Grito, Aurelia? Everything is okay there? When are you guys going to open?
You're asking me, see the.
Are you guys open now for delivery or not?
He's open for delivery and he's doing deliveries as we speak.
Very well. Officer Pena.
Officer Martinucci, we have no issues with this location.
Thank you so much. By the way, Rob, your assignment is to keep the timing.
Got it.
Residents will have 1 minute, and then the representatives will have 3 minutes or so, and then we can exchange views.
Got it.
Do we have any questions from residents? See any hands? Jonathan, do you see any hands up? None. So now we move to committee business. Are there any questions from our committee members? Seeing none, I request and that we move to take a vote on this matter. If there's no objection.
Yeah, we should.
All those in favor?
Can I make one request? Can I make one request?
Yes, please.
Can I just call out the names and you'll give me a vote, just kind of like, would that help?
Excellent.
So on this one, great. So on item agenda number 1, Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gerard, yes. Cindy?
Yes.
Rosie?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Waldes?
Yes.
Yes. That's all I have. Does that capture the committee members? Yes, so we're good. Seated on the votes.
Very good. So if that application passes.
Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So now we're going to move to agenda item number 2, which is the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I understand that there is a representative. I think it was Mr. Kim that was on the line previously. Mr. Kim, if you so kind, please identify yourself, the rest of the committee, and the application.
Francis, we can't hear you.
Hello, do you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Francis Ascano, Government Affairs Specialist at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I'm here with my colleagues Sujin Kim and Tucker Flake, and thank you. We're here for our wine renewal for the cloisters.
Very well. Officer Pena, this is when the purview of 33rd. Martinucci, what is the opinion of 33rd?
We have no issues with this location as well.
Officer Martinucci has indicated there are no issues with this particular establishment. Are there any questions from the residents? I don't see any hands up. I'll now entertain our committee issues and discussions. Do we have any issues with this particular applicant? Or do you like to move to an immediate vote?
Yeah, let's go
Yes,
straight to vote.
Let's go to straight vote. All those in favor, Gerard, please to the vote.
Gerard, you're on mute.
Oh, pardon me. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gerard votes yes. Cindy?
Yes.
Rosie?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Waldez?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very well. This application passes. Congratulations. We now move to the next agenda item, which is JNF Salon NYINC, located at 595 West 7th Street. Again, Officer Martinucci, this is with the preview 34th, but let me see if I can have a representative from JNF Salon. Do we have a representative from JNF Salon in the house? Not in the house, but virtually. Do we have a representative from JF Salon? Saying no, this is a renewal of wine license. Officer Martinucci, what's the opinion of 34th?
Our precinct has no issues with this location.
Are there any comments from residents? Seeing none, let's entertain our discussions now on committee. Committee members, how do you stand on this particular topic? I recommend that we go to straight vote.
Second.
Gerard.
Ready?
Thank you.
For item 3, Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gerard votes yes. Cindy?
Yes.
Rosie?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Robin, okay. Ashley?
Can I ask a clarifying
Ashley?
question? Yeah.
Sure.
Does the representative from the business have to be in the meeting in order for this to be passed?
Not necessarily. If there are issues that might be brought up either by the precinct or by a resident, then we'll entertain those comments and make a decision based on what they say. But usually it has to be the norms that if the precinct will not have any comments, we tend to pass because this is a wine license. It's not something that is
that's
very
fine.
real.
Yeah, just wanted to clarify standard practice. My vote is yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Ashley is yes. And Waldez?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Great. So that's
Sorry.
unanimous. Yes, unanimous.
Thank you so much, Gerard. So now we move.
Excuse me, Isidro, can you tell me which one it was that you just voted on? Was that 3? Are you still going in order?
Yes, we just passed agenda item number 3. It was approved.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So now we move to agenda item number 4, which is Barrel 79, doing business as a Barrel 79 on 79 in Audubon. This is Officer Valentin with the purview of 33rd Precinct, but let's see if we have a representative from Barrel 79. If there is a representative from Barrel 79, please do raise your hand, then we can open up the mic so we can listen to what the ask is. So again, do we have a representative? I see a hand.
Yes,
up,
I'm here.
Jonathan.
Yes, I'm here.
For the purpose of a minute, please tell us your name, affiliation to this establishment, and what is the ask that you are requesting?
Hi, I'm Nicholas Esposito. I'm one of the owners here at Barrel 79. I wanted to add live music, jazz on Saturdays and Sundays after COVID-19 ends and social distancing practices are relaxed, and do a trivia night on a weeknight, maybe Tuesday night or Wednesday night with it's through a microphone through our music player. We just had a leak in our ceiling and we were able to install 5/8 double sheetrock into that location for soundproofing. I want to see if that is acceptable Our music isn't the traditional amplified sound. We use actually the same music system that you would use for a home audio entertainment center. It's cost $200 on Best Buy, so the decibels they're not as loud as after, a commercial unit.
Mr. Pusero, before I go into the precinct and ask the questions, do we have a sound limit installed, you're saying?
We do not have a sound limiter. We haven't had the need for one. I don't think it would reach that. Our normal music, it wouldn't be any louder than our normal music. A sound limiter would cost more than our entire music system just for that piece of electronics.
So you plan to do this for a couple of days or just consistently?
We would like to do the live. Well, we'd like to do live jazz. So that's on Saturdays and Sundays with our brunch. So that's not an amplified sound. It would be a acoustic guitar, maybe a stand-up bass, possibly a snare drum, maybe a saxophone, something like that. And then for the trivia, it's just a microphone. That's it.
From what time to what time, son? Saturday and Sundays.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
You said Saturday and Sundays only, right? So what are the times?
It would be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for live jazz.
All right. So on Saturdays and Sundays, live music from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Honestly, I don't think it's much of an ask. I personally wouldn't have a problem with this, but I would like to hear from the precinct to see what the recommendations might be. So please give us a second. Don't hang up. Don't unmute yourself because there'll be questions. Okay. The 33rd. What's the opinion of the 33rd?
Yes, Lieutenant Concepcion, 33rd Precinct. We haven't had any noise complaints or 911 calls for that location. My only question is, are you looking to change any of the current modes of operation during the nighttime on the weekends, or it's just specifically just the brunch times?
It's just the brunch times. That's it. We're not looking to change anything else.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, those hours are fine with us. So we don't have any issues. If if you need any help with getting your sound meter checked, we could take a reading for you, come by the precinct, set up an appointment with us, just so you avoid any kind of possible issues. I know nothing's coming up so far, but just for your own peace of mind.
Very
okay,
well.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.
Don't go out, Mr. Pusero yet. Do I have any comments from residents? Do I see any hands raised? I don't see none. I just Nicholas. All right, so let's go to committee.
Actually, real quick, Isidro. Somebody named Nancy just asked, "What are the hours for amplified music?" I'm not sure. I believe she's asking for this specific agenda item.
From 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Who said that?
Somebody named Nancy Preston just typed into the chat box asking what are hours for amplified music.
Nicholas, can you please respond to that?
It's not for amplified music. That's for jazz, which would be acoustic music, snare drum, stand-up bass, which is not amplified, a saxophone, maybe a trumpet, something like that. It would depend on the collection of the artist. I'd like to bring in different local artists. I've got a collection of business cards of people that have dropped stuff off, and I said, this is something I'd like to add. So it's not actually amplified sound.
Got it. But she's also asking if it's during the week. I believe you requested for the weekend.
That's
right.
That's correct. Yeah. So, okay. So to rehash everything, I was asking for trivia on Wednesday nights or Tuesday or Wednesday nights, from about 7 to 9 p.m. That would be a microphone only. No, it's not amplified music. For Saturday and Sunday, I was asking about live jazz from 11 a.m. to about 2 p.m. That's acoustic instruments. So a stand-up bass, acoustical guitar, saxophone, snare drum. Those are all acoustic. They're not amplified sounds.
So, Nicholas, for the mic, you say will be which hours again? I'm sorry.
Okay. Weekday, Tuesday, and or Wednesday for trivia from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
No, Nicholas, it cannot be said Tuesday or Wednesday. It has to be established days. If you want like Tuesday through Wednesday or Thursdays, it's okay, but it cannot be either or.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I would just say then Tuesday. Honestly, it would depend on the availability of a host to do it. And I'll say specifically Tuesday, and I'll hold it on Tuesday if that's possible.
Very well. From what time to time?
7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Very well. I'll now bring discussion now to our committee members. Based on what you heard, do we have any questions? Do you guys want to move forward? I will straight vote.
Cesar, one thing, is Jonathan reading these questions? Somebody, Sandra Lukow, I don't know if it has to do with this one, had said she like
No, I got it. I'm responding to her right now. I believe she's speaking about agenda item number 6 because she's referencing somebody named Jim. But yeah, we'll get to that when agenda item number 6 is up.
Almost addressing and picking up comments and questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aldous.
Yeah, no problem.
Having said that, let's go to straight vote. You're right.
Okay. Ready? So for item number 4, Isidro, how do you vote? Isidro? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Gerard votes yes. Cindy?
Yes.
Rosie?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Waldiz?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. We wish you all the best. And one
Thank
day
you, sir.
pass by. Do take care. I wish you well.
Thank you, sir.
Now we move to new licenses. Agenda item number 5 has been withdrawn. The Uptown Group LLC, located at 4790 Broadway, has withdrawn. So we will not entertain that application. We're going to move now to agenda item number 6. Uptown Monarch doing business as Casa Criolla, located at 4046 Broadway. That's between 183rd and Fairview Avenue in Washington Heights. This is a brand new license. I think that some changes have been made. So I'm going to call the representatives now from Casa Criolla. If you please raise your hand so Jonathan can give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and the plan that you're going to have in place. So can I have Representative Fia here, please, for Casa Criolla?
Yes, we have Jael. Jael, you can talk right now.
Please raise your hand.
Hi, I'm not from the business. I'm a resident that would like to speak out about this business.
Not at this point, not yet.
Yep, okay.
Do we have someone from Casa Criolla? Well, this
Can you guys hear me?
I don't see anybody. Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Angel.
All right, great.
So for the purpose of the minute, Angel, just 1 second. For the purpose of the minutes, please tell us your name and affiliation to Casa Criolla.
I'm a managing member of the corporation. My name is Angel Garcia.
My name's Aurelia Tavares. I'm the representative for Uptown Monarch. I represent Angel Garcia. And it's actually two owners here. Angel's one of them. The other one is Jose Rodriguez. They'll be co-owning the space. Sorry, I'm telling some.
Very well. So Angel, can you please tell us what are your intentions with this place? What are the concepts? What kind of food are going to be expecting? And have you submitted a complete application, meaning that you submit a copy of the menu and the floor plan to the board?
The answer is yes to your question. I have submitted the menu and the full questionnaire. The intentions for us is to reopen the business. We try to do so in September. I'm actually in November, I want to say, when we came to see you guys, and unfortunately we weren't able to do it. Then we planned and we got hit with COVID. So post-COVID, we're trying to open as a Dominican restaurant with a different concept. More gearing towards small plates, and that's about it.
If we want to describe the location, Isidro, for you, I know you have the form. There's going to be 15 cameras for security purposes. We're going to have a sound limiter. This location was already pre-built. It's a beautiful location. It just wasn't managed the way the community wanted prior to this. But I think that post-COVID, this is a different animal and a new frontier, more geared toward delivery, more fast food. Unfortunately, the type of establishments that we had before are not going to work for this going forward. And the closing hours, this is a restaurant straight up, real restaurant hours. They're going to close at 1 a.m. You know, we're asking for 1 a.m. from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. You know, probably last call will be 12:30. This is going to be run by two people so that there's always someone on site when the residents have an issue, because the last thing they want is what happened. It was torture for me what happened with the last license. This isn't that kind of time of that type of location. They're asking for a DJ. Who's ever going to see a DJ at this location? Because it's food. But I like to add the amenities on the license because I believe when we don't have them, that's when we get fined. If you do it once for a bridal shower or a baby shower, you get $5,000-$10,000 fees, as the 34th precinct so much likes to remind us. But we need to stay in business. And when you start to pay these types of rents, you know, you can see how we could be wiped out in a minute. So if you have any questions, we're open to them. Angel's a senior operator.
2 minutes.
He's now doing food delivery. So
thank you, Lilian. Questions? What are you going to, how are you going to manage the double
Got some
parking?
guys from the pub.
The question to Angel and the owner, how are you going to manage the double park issue that was very prevalent when Alka was there?
I believe there was an issue with double parking because there was some valet parking service that came attached to this location. We will no longer have that in place.
That's illegal.
Garage across the street, so people can go there. And there's another one on Nagel Avenue that people can park there as well. So in regards to the valet parking, that's no longer going to be here.
I would add that there is double parking anyway, and the place is closed right now. So double parking is
my concern here is for the precinct and the emergency vehicles that will have full access to Broadway. We would not want to see double park there. Even if it's not yours, we don't care. We want to make sure that the precinct and the emergency vehicles have full access to that area there, because before it was a big problem. Big problem. Now let's go over the meth operations. Angel, please. Are you requesting jukebox?
Am I requesting
Yes.
a jukebox? A
Yes,
DJ? Yes, I am.
Because I want the committee members that might not have access to the questionnaire so that they will have an understanding what they're getting into, right?
Correct.
So this yes or no? DJ, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Karaoke?
yes.
Oh, yes?
You
Oh,
want to
no.
take it off? I have it on the. I have every method of operation, Isidro.
Okay.
I don't have dancing because it's not permitted. I'm sorry.
I
I
just
have
need
two.
one.
Sure.
I'm the one doing the questions here. I'll need one answer, that's all. Are you gonna have karaoke? Karaoke.
Angel.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Let me know when you come back. Yes,
I'm
ready?
here. Yes, yes.
Live music.
Yes.
Did you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
I think he's having connection problems. The answer is yes. We put that on the application.
Jonathan, see if you can unmute Angel, please. Very
I
well.
was getting to the call. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
All
we
right.
can hear him.
I lost you guys for a minute.
Thank you, Angel. I'm sorry. Does the place have a sound limiter installed?
Yes.
Yes.
Will the space be properly soundproof?
Yes.
Yes, yes, it will. And it is actually.
Very well. Will there be a third-party promotion?
No.
Absolutely not.
Will you have New York security personnel?
No.
In the case
This
needed,
is a straight
we
up
will.
restaurant. What's that? I don't think
In the
you can hear.
cases needed, we will.
What are the hours of operation for this that you're requesting? What are the hours of operation that you are requesting?
11 a.m.
Aurelia.
to 1 a.m.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I cannot hear this.
11 a.m. to 1 a.m. I'm sorry, when my dog sees the a television dog,
It's okay.
he starts going crazy.
It's okay. So that'll be on a daily basis, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m., right?
And midnight on Sunday.
And Sundays midnight. Committee members, did I leave anything out of relevance for this establishment? Let me ask you, Angel, what is your experience in dealing with restaurants?
Say again, Isidro, I'm sorry.
What has been your experience? Have you managed a restaurant before?
Yes, I have.
For how long?
About 5-6 years.
And where?
On Dykeman. It's whatever's known as 809 today was previously known as the Arcade in the early 2000s.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. I'm happy that you managed that place. It was a beautiful place. Question. How many people are you going to hire? Or have you hired someone already?
Right now, I have 2 people working in the place with me.
And when you open up, how many are you planning to trying to employ?
I mean, Isidro, post-COVID, we don't know what's going to happen, but you know, I guess to speculate, depending on what the new rules are going to be, you know, I'll follow the lead on those new rules.
Makes sense. How many tables and chairs going to have inside?
The
we gave a
74.
plan already. Can you remind me? Because I don't have that in front of me right now. Sorry.
The occupancy is 74. We're going to have 16 tables of 4.
I believe the total number is 198. But I can search my email real quick.
The 2 pieces, you see, you know, there's that pizza side that's unrelated, but the occupancy for that, the restaurant side, 74.
Okay, I'm not too concerned about the pizza. Angel, what about the room in the back that used to be separate with the client? What is the plan for that room there?
We do have a plan for that room in the back, Isidro.
Right.
Our intentions is to use it for catering, special events. Actually, previously in January, we launched our first movie night, free movie nights for the community. And we got to do about 2 of them. And then unfortunately, the whole thing with the pandemic hit. But we had I think we had 2 free movie nights that were pretty nice. We got some good feedback. And that's the purpose of that room for now. I mean, the room is beautiful. It's perfect for birthday parties, you know, I guess weddings and whatnot, but that's the purpose right now.
Very well. So I'm going to open up the floor now to our local precinct, Officer Martinucci. This is establishment located between 193rd and Fairview Avenue. We understand the place well. My primary concern for this establishment has been the parking issue. Because again, we're concerned about well-being for our community. There's no question about that. But I would like to hear from you about the specific concerns for this establishment.
Yeah, so the double parking is definitely a big issue for us. I'll circle back to this, but even with no establishment right now, we still get 311 complaints in 2020 for double parking at the location. So adding like a liquor establishment there as well, it's just going to be worse. But the question that we do have for
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The question that we do have for the owners, is there any affiliation with the previous owners?
Is there any affiliation with the previous owner?
Yes.
Can you be more specific, please?
Well, what's the relationship that you have with, if you do have a relationship with the previous owner? Because the reason I'm asking that question is because it was such a problematic spot back in 2018 and the first month of 2019. I just want to know, is it somebody new coming in, or are you going to ask them for their opinion on certain things? We're just curious as to if there is affiliation.
Hey, who's going to be managing this place?
I'm sorry?
Who's going to be managing this place?
I will be managing this place.
Okay, so do you
in
have...
regards, let me just answer your question, officer.
Thanks.
In regards to the double parking that you're talking about right now, since the pandemic, we have been working as first responders, feeding the seniors of New York City, and we have actually brought meals to your precinct in matters of actually being part of the help. So maybe you're seeing double parking in the morning at 7 a.m. Those are drivers picking up food to deliver to the seniors. You know, we took on this responsibility on March 16th, I want to say, and we haven't stopped since. And, you know, I feel proud on taking on this project because I'm a product of this community. I know you don't know me, but I've been in this community for 22 years. And the fact that I'm now feeding the seniors, you know, it makes me feel good and you know, actually bringing food to you guys as well.
Okay.
I hope that answered your question.
It doesn't, but we'll get back to the question. Listen, we do appreciate what you've done for the precinct if you've given us food. My job is to speak for the 360 residents in 2018 who called about double parking, noise conditions, and fights at the location. So that's who I'm speaking for right now. The initial question that I asked you is, what is the affiliation with the previous owner? I would just, if there is affiliation, would you mind?
Yeah, of course there is. There's an affiliation. I know if you're referring to Junior Lantigua, I do know Junior for years.
Okay.
Like everybody else does here. We do consult them on things that we should not do anymore, or we shouldn't do, and things that need to change here. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it does. Does Junior have any interest in the current business that moving forward, or is it just going to be you guys?
No, it's just a consulting agreement, and in fact, he does have the pizzeria next door, which is moving across the street.
Okay.
And I mean, as far as that is concerned, that's the only relationship that exists.
All right, fair enough. The occupancy, I'm sorry, it was a little spotty before. The occupancy is going to be 74?
No, the occupancy today is 194.
Okay.
The whole space though, but okay.
194.
Right, for the whole space.
Okay.
I think Aurelia was referring to the front. She wasn't counting the back.
Gotcha. Okay.
And what the back is being used for?
And the back, can you just elaborate on what exactly that back space is being used for again? Because it's real tough when police officers, like, we don't have access to the back just by viewing from the outside. And
if you could come in, Officer Martinucci, you would see it's used for storage and food prep. It's completely inundated with boxes, and we don't anticipate any gatherings anytime soon.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
no.
So the last time I was there was on New Year's Eve.
No,
because there was an incident at the location. And I was curious if somebody wanted to justify that instance, because we saw, there was a few officers who saw people walking in and out of the location at 5 o'clock in the morning on January 1st. And when we walked in, there was over 50 people in the back, dancing, playing music. There was hookahs. There were bottles of alcohol. There were people serving alcohol inside the location.
There were bottle girls.
There were bottle girls, and we were told that it was a family party and it was a bring your own beer event, but there were still servers there. So we just kind of wanted to clarify. We haven't had an opportunity to hear what that was all about with the owners.
That was a private event. Yeah, it was a private party.
Okay.
But as far as I'm
But you don't
concerned, there
have
was
a-
no servers here. What do you mean by servers? Like waitresses?
Yes, bottle girls.
And outfits. They had outfits. You had hookah guys, the hookahs, selling hookahs there. I responded to.
I'm sorry, I don't know who's, I can't see who's talking.
Lieutenant Contreras. I'm the one that responded to.
Hey, how are you, sir?
All right. So we responded to a location. They had bottle girls and outfits and everything. They had hookahs and they had everything going on there. You have no liquor license for that spot. So there shouldn't be no private event going on at that location. So that makes me wonder how many other times that's gone on before, or how many times it's gone on after that.
So you're asking me a question if it's happened before?
Well, it just makes us wonder how many times that happened before we noticed what was going on there. That's
Well, it hasn't happened before or after. There was a private party on the 31st of December.
But you have no
It
license.
was a family party.
But it was a family event and it was closed. There was no beer selling. There was no alcohol selling.
Aurelia, you wasn't there. I was there. Do me a favor. You wasn't there. So there was bottles stored and liquor. There was hookah guys and girls serving bottles. Don't tell me what was going on when you wasn't there. Do me that
You're
favor.
correct. You're
Okay?
correct. And let's be
And-
respectful.
I wasn't being disrespectful. I'm just telling you what I saw, and you're telling me that I didn't see something.
No, I'm telling you that.
Thank you, Aurelia. This happened during New Year's Eve, right?
Sure.
Angel, did you have full possession of the establishment at that time?
Not 100%.
Not 100%. Were you into the business of seeing what the establishment produced? Were you there? Were you aware of this? What was your intervention about this problem? What did you do?
Well, the former owner, Junior, had told us in regards to a party that a friend of his wanted to conduct at the place. We said no. Then obviously some family members wanted to rent the place out to hold a private event, and then I didn't see an issue with that, and we did it. If there was an issue, there was not for sure intended to disrespect anybody in this meeting.
So you didn't have a liquor license, but yet there were like ladies with bottles. How did that happen?
I'm not sure that was what happened, but if Officer Contreras is saying that he was here
He was
and
there?
he saw ladies serving, I'm gonna have to take his word for it.
He was there.
Yeah, correct. But that wasn't part of the whole agreement that we had in place with the family members. I'm not sure what those girls were.
But I'm saying you were aware about these problems, right?
I wasn't aware of the problems, no.
You were
I
not
never got a phone call. No, Jose, I believe Mr. Matanucci has my phone number, and we texted before. And he also texted with my partner, Jose, but we never got a phone call that night, though.
Some Officer Matanucci.
Because that night we spoke to Junior that night.
Oh, you spoke to Junior that night?
We spoke to Junior
Alright.
that night. So that's why. So I can't tell you that that's upon you, but you had emailed Detective Pena to set up a meeting.
Jose did.
Well, Jose sent an email. We emailed back. It came with unreadable, the message. And then at that point, everything was going on. But we was gonna speak to him about it, what was going on at that time. But then everything happened and we wasn't able to set it up.
Well, I'm so sorry that it went in that direction. I mean, I've been to the precinct a few times these days, and I've seen Mr. Pena there. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we ever met each other, but I'm approachable. I mean, I'm probably one of the nicest guys in this community, so we could talk anytime about it. If it was an issue, I apologize.
Thank you. So I received 2 emails from 2 residents, one from Christina and another one from Natasha Arroyo, saying that they have problems there with noise, and they would not want to see Antigua be part of this engagement. We're very worried that this can be a matter. So 2 letters, 2 emails will be part of the record. But now I'm going to open up the floor to our residents. Well, do we have some questions, comments?
Yes, we have several questions actually and comments. I'm going to start with the beginning, which was submitted around 6:36 or around the time we started by Jim Mutin. He asked for me to read the question out loud to you guys. So he said, I have a question for the Uptown Monarch Group regarding Casa Criolla business. A year prior, the license for the establishment was resoundingly denied by CB12 due to a lack of response from the business management to the multitude of complaints regarding noise, violence, and drug use after hours. What does the ownership have planned for this particular establishment? And why are we approving a license request that may draw NYPD attention away from critical issues at this time?
Can I take that?
Yeah, you have 2 minutes.
I'll use one, Angel, if you can address the second. Just so you know, I was on that last license and we had many issues there. One of them because the owner wouldn't listen. I think that all of these issues were brought to the attention of Angel. And I even had like fights with the prior owner because of, you know, he asked me and then he did we went a different way. I don't like problems on locations. I don't like noise. I don't like noise in my own house. When I told Angel I would take on this license, him and Jose agreed that they would be closing early. It would be a restaurant and that we would have none of the things that were going on before and that they would be in complete communication with the precinct, to the precinct's concern, because I don't have the time to go up to the SLA to fight fines because post-COVID, there's a lot of other things that are going to be going on. I think that as you can see, the community has much say in taking away and in chiming in on this license. Because the community has been so active with this license, we agree that to the terms, because we're gonna, you know, they don't want to lose their investment. You know, this is a beautiful space and it's a shame that we haven't been able to make a go of it. Angel, do you want to add anything to that about your management style and how you're going to run this location?
Rob.
Well, I do. Oh, excuse me, may I?
I'm sorry. Rob, how much time do we have?
Maybe 30 seconds.
Go ahead, Angel, sorry.
35 seconds.
All right, I'll just make it quick. I just want to add to anyone that's watching this or listening to this call. You know, I'm available. I'm here from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day. If you guys want to come in, pop in, talk to me, you know, I will definitely address your concerns. I'm not the type of guy that focuses on the past too much, but I will for sure be the person that you guys will speak to in regards to any changes that you're looking for. You know, we made an investment here. And we want to move forward with our investment.
Time.
And we want to work with your community.
Time.
Waldis, do we have any more comments, please? If they're similar, they have been addressed, please use your judgment.
Yeah, so I'm going to again go in order. So there's several comments, so bear with me, guys. So Sandra Luckow, I don't know if she's still on, but I believe she wants to make a comment. So I don't know if you guys could give her access to comment.
I don't know if we can unlock. Can we unlock Jonathan? And that be limited to 1 minute, Rob.
Yes. Guys, please keep in mind that you only have 1 minute. We have Christine and Jael firstly.
Oh, no, I don't see set. I'm sorry. So I'm I'm sorry, Jonathan, not trying to mess up that, but I see, I mean, I don't think Sandra Luckow is here, or I don't see her name.
I'm here, Yael,
I don't
and
know if
I've
you
been
see.
here from
Oh,
the
you are.
beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So would you like to comment right now? Is your time.
Yes, thank you. So I just want to say that I've never attended a CB12 meeting, and I've been so worried seeing people go into that restaurant to set up that I felt moved. And I'm nervous just speaking now because I'm scared that my words might lead to something bad. That's how fearful I am of this restaurant opening. I will say that I have approached owners before, and I was treated very rudely and badly by everyone that I spoke to there. Here are some of the issues that have happened, besides double parking, which is happening right now as I look out my window, by the way. Honking, drag racing, drunk driving, knives, guns, fights, domestic violence, police every weekend, smoking, underage drinking, public drinking, litter, breaking cars, throwing bottles, screaming. My 3 children under 7 couldn't sleep all night, every night, living in fear based on the fights that were happening outside of our window, waiting for a gunshot to go through our window, police coming, sirens blasting, commands. How many chances does this place get? 1, 2, 3?
2 minutes.
I don't care that there's a new person.
Huh?
Sorry, Sandra. We have to everybody has 2 minutes to speak, so I believe that's why they cut you off. So I believe this is time. I'm sorry, Cedar. You got the. You want to say something, Cedar?
1 minute, Robin.
Okay.
It's 1 minute. Okay.
I thought I had another minute. That was 1 minute.
So you only have 1 minute.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Residents, yeah, I'm sorry. Residents, we allow 1 minute in case we have 20 residents. We would like to hear them all, and we like
We
to
have another resident.
Robin.
I think,
yes.
Steve Love.
Hello. Yes, my name is Stephen Love. I'm president. Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Stephen Love. I'm president of Fort Tryon Apartments Corp. We are the co-op with 7 buildings and 350 apartments across the street from this location. We do not want any more mayhem in our neighborhood. And I would like to know if you have examined the lease agreement between whoever these individuals are. They keep changing their LLCs and their corporations. Who is the lease with? Is it between Junior and Castamides, who owns that building? Who is it? We don't want these people to bring mayhem to our community anymore. And you, Isidro, you need to look in who the real owners are. Thank you.
1 minute.
Time is up, Robin.
I'm done.
Do we allow? Sorry, Isidro, just for procedural reasons. Do we allow Angel to respond to all these questions? Because I believe,
we can let them do like all at once because it'll take too long. So Angel, take note if you want. We can address that one by one if you want.
Okay, so I have Yael Leopold. Not sure if he's still on. He or she is still on.
I just spoke before, so thank you so much. But I do want to say, can I just add one more thing that?
Yeah, I'll give you 20 seconds, please.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say to think about all the children that are in the neighborhood that have not been able to sleep. This is the first time in years since they've been closed that my children have been able to sleep and not been terrified. Let's let them prove that they can be a restaurant without alcohol and close at a decent time, because I don't believe that's what's going to happen. No matter what the board decides, they're going to do what they want to do. And where is the accountability?
20 seconds.
Thank you, yeah. Thank you so much. Waldis, who else do we have online?
Yes. We have okay, some Francisco.
Francisco, you have 1 minute. Francisco. Go to the next one, Wald.
I see we have Christian. Francisco is not raising his hand.
Huh?
is that, Jonathan?
Kristen.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we
Yes, we can
Hi.
hear you. You can talk now,
Thanks.
please.
My name is Christina Tisdale, and I live a block and a half from Casa Criolla. First of all, they didn't post a public notice letting the community know they'd be pursuing a liquor license. We've got a photo of the outside of the building. Angel, according to the social media accounts, Casa Criolla is part of the Wahai Group. Wahai Group's president and CEO is Junior Lantigua. Y'all actually share social media content. I'm also concerned because you don't seem to know that your own method of operations you're asking for. We can't repeat the past. The past included straw ownership, incessant alterations of method of operation without permission, drug deals, the limitless counts with the New York State Liquor Authority, fistfights, the knifing, and the constant police activity. I didn't sleep through the night, Thursday through Sunday nights while you were all in business. I kind of can't believe this is
1 minute.
coming up, especially during a pandemic. Thank you for feeding our neighbors.
Thank you so much, Christian. Waldis, we have somebody else.
Yes, Francisco is, Francisco.
Francisco, you have 1 minute. Francisco going once? Francisco going twice?
He said he typed in, he tried to speak, but I don't know if he's able to right now.
Let's go to the next one. He,
Not.
No shot? Okay, so. Okay, hear you, Jonathan. What happened?
Hello. Hello?
Please, you can talk now.
We need to have a clear name.
Hello?
Rosie can transcribe that later on. So if that issues, you can go to the next one to get clear enunciation of the names.
Okay.
Not to please identify yourself firstly and then talk.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, but.
Oh, okay, great. So hi, I'm the one who sent the email. I was very active in the last times with Junior when he was involved. I'm sorry, is it Angel had said that he wasn't 100% involved, but he did not say he wasn't involved when Junior was there. Christian Tisdale just pointed out that they are part of the Wahi Group. And this is what Stephen even said, that they keep on changing their names, they keep on changing their LTD or whatever that name is, but it's the same people. They have harassed, their customers harass me because they've been drunk, and I haven't been able to sleep. Yo, I'm Natasha Arroyo, sorry. Natasha Arroyo. Yeah?
Natasha.
Thank you. So I'm just concerned, and I don't know why we don't give opportunity to people who aren't these same Wahi group who can't manage a business. That's
1 minute. 1 minute.
I'm 1 minute. Okay.
That's
so
it.
That's it.
Done.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much. Well, this next one.
All right. So we also have, Francisco, we're gonna get to you at the end because we have to move along. But Jerry Culligan, is he on? He made a comment before. I asked him if he'd like to speak, but he didn't respond. So
The next one.
Jerry Culligan going once, going twice. All right. So let's try Francisco again. Francisco.
Going once, twice, gone. Next one.
I think he thinks he's muted. Is that true, Jonathan? I don't know if you see that on your side. I don't
have his hand raised.
Francisco.
Y'all got me now?
Okay, yeah, we can
hear you.
hear Francisco.
Oh, Jesus.
You have 1 minute.
Okay. I think, and I've had this discussion with the other committee I'm in, is that folks I want people to understand where we live. Noise is part of like New York City. We rank as amongst the highest in noise complaints forever and ever. That's just New York City. I have children. I want my children to fall asleep, but I also understand where I live. And I understand that just certain things we can't control. As far as that establishment, I just learned that you guys are talking about ARCA and private events. When it comes to having a liquor license, you can serve without a liquor license at a private event, at a private establishment. You don't need a liquor license to serve liquor unless people are paying for the liquor. That's when you need a license. You could, if I have a private event at my private establishment, I can serve food, liquor, spritzers, whatever I want. So I'm not understanding why private events are being
1 minute. 1 minute, Francisco. You're done.
That's it. Thank you, guys.
Francisco, Walde, please proceed.
All right, I believe, well, no, let me not quote that as the last person, but I see Jennifer Bristol. Is she on?
Jennifer, are you on? Can you hear us? Going once, twice, gone.
Okay, so I believe that that's everybody that had, at least on my side, that has commented. I tried to touch, I said everybody's name. And so I'm gonna just read one last comment that was made by somebody. It said anonymous attendee. It said, please bring up, I am confused. On their IG, they said they were hosting a Sip It brunch starting January 5th. So I'm guessing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Angel, so you heard some of these concerns and even someone, Francisco, I believe, saying that this is part of the community, it's part of nature, but you heard many of the complaints. Can you please try to address some of the concerns?
Sure. Well, I'm going to address the last one in regards to the Instagram account, because I was reading the question and answers. I have not posted anything on the Instagram account in regards to brunch. I believe that was probably some other stuff. I'm not sure what's related to. I did take over the Instagram account that was in this place before, and I know there's a lot of cleanup that I need to do. But as far as posting parties for this year, we have not. That's one thing. And I'll address quickly the matters of the other people. Yeah, I believe in sustainability. I believe in having sustainable relationships. And that is my background. So when it comes to that, I'm willing to build whatever's necessary that's sustainable enough for the community to understand that we're here to bring something new and on a different concept. I'm not a big fan of parties, and I definitely don't support crime. I don't have a criminal background, so I'm not sure why was that brought up. I come from a background of telecommunications, and I owned businesses before in the hospitality industry, and I never had any issues with police or fights or any of that matter. I believe in what I'm doing. I think I could change the relationship we have with the community now, and I'm looking forward to it. In regards to proving who we're leasing from or who's the lease under.
2 minutes, sir.
Not sure. Thank you. I don't know if I have anything else to say. Anyways.
Okay. So
I want to address the lease issue. There's
Yes.
almost $1 million investment in that location. There is a relationship between the prior owner, and that is the note that needs to be paid to him to get out of there. If you want Junior out, they got to pay him to get out of there, and they're paying a note to Junior. So there's $1 million in there. People don't just blow out of the air, and that's how they got this location. It's an assignment of lease. So a lease can be assigned 20 million times. So if you don't want Junior there,
1 minute.
and then move on, because the owner is coming here with his.
Time's up.
So the idea is that Angel wants to buy the lease out from Junior. Aurelia, Angel, respond yourself. Angel, do you want to buy the lease from Junior? That's what.
We already established that negotiation, Isidro.
So
back
you
in
buy
September.
everything off from Junior, including the lease.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, Junior would keep ownership if this thing doesn't get approved or something happens. Very well. So now that question has been addressed. Angel, the question has become whether or not there's going to be a lounge or a restaurant by the residents. That's the main concern. You have proposed hours from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Would
That's
that
correct.
be, this is, and then Sundays until 12 midnight.
That's correct.
Honestly, if I would think that you want to do a lounge, you're going to ask for 4 o'clock a.m. That would be something that I would think. But we still have to address the concerns from the residents, right? And I understand that, when the issue about drug is very delicate amongst our people. And when that comes, we don't want any stereotyping. We're not there. And I want to make sure that that's not a picture that we want to send out, that this is a drug-infested neighborhood. But we want to preserve and make sure that the safety of residents is our most important, right? So I personally see that these hours are something that we can work with. It's a good beginning. I see that perhaps you really want to stay to your work. But I'm going to open up now to the floor to our committee members to see if they have any concerns. I might have 3 steps for this establishment for them to move forward. I'm going to open up the floor now to our committee members. Questions?
I would like to say something. Honestly, I feel like Angel and Aurelia have shown that they've been trying to work with the community. I don't know past ARCA, so I can't say anything pertaining to that, but it seems as they're trying to build a relationship, and I don't believe there has been big issues. Only issue that there was January 1st, but nothing was brought up to Angel, so he can't really speak upon that. So personally, when you guys got my vote.
Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any committee members? Any other committee members?
I have a couple of just a couple comments and stuff like that. Well, questions. I actually have a question. There's been a lot of I'm being that I'm in charge with checking this whole chat box and stuff like that. There seems to be an extreme concern with safety and overall safety and noise complaints specifically. What is it that you can do as a business owner to try to limit it as much as possible? And then 2, also, how can you help, I guess, re-engage the folks that are very, I guess, dissatisfied with the previous ownership and previous management, to try to I guess build those relationships, which seems to be very salvaged. So I just want to know, I guess, your 2 cents. And I come from a space of trying to bring people together versus bring people apart. I see that, a lot of people feel strongly against ARCA, but I just want to I guess hear your perspective, Angel, and then see maybe if there's if hopefully these community residents or these community people could have some type of open heart to try to I guess mend this relationship.
Thank you, Waldis. It's a really good point. Thank you.
And thank you for answering that question. I'm open to new relationships. I'm open to meeting everyone around this community. It's unfortunate what happened in the past, and I would definitely address anyone's concern when it comes to that. And to answer your question, we're looking to close at 1 a.m. Closing doors at 12 a.m. Last call at our bar. But in regards to re-engaging or to a new engagement, rather, I look forward to meeting anyone that's in our community that has a concern. And I look forward to honestly rebuild. I want to be part of making a difference out here. And if that's an opportunity that's given to me, I'm all for it.
Thank you, Andrew. So any other comments from committee members? 3 things that I want to address with you, Angel, if we were to move forward. This will be my recommendations. To address the concerns from residents that might have issues with noise, fights, drag races that might have nothing to do with establishing themselves. perhaps because of the crowd that goes around, I will ask for you 3 things. Post a good neighbor sign, a phone number of someone that is in charge where neighbors can call if there are problems when the business is open. And third, I really want to see a huge, humongous sized sign that says, "Don't double park." That for me will be a deal breaker. And I will hope that you have someone that will patrol the area to dissuade anyone from double parking. Because again, I've been patrolling the area consistently, and I can see the concern from the 34 precinct. Or do you envision anything else on how we're going to resolve this problem? Andrew.
I would definitely take your suggestions in. We will print those signs and we will push for no double parking in any event that there is. I do want to be completely honest in regards to my vision. We will work with anyone and everyone in this community that has a concern with this business.
Thank you.
We will.
So
anybody, be it police officers, be it just a regular person, we're here. You guys can come here at 6 a.m. and you will find me here. You guys can come here at 11 p.m. and you will find me here.
Work with this community first. We are asking you to do this. It's important, at least from our standpoint, that you make sure that it's clear that you're not going to think about it. Let me know if you're going to do it, and let me know if you're not going to do it. I need to have a solid answer whether or not you're going to have this flyers that will clearly state that there should be not double parking. That will be a deal breaker for me.
I understand it will be done.
Very well. Cindy.
Yes.
We're going to have those 3 steps, but before, start writing it down, right? Which is a good neighbor sign, a phone number from someone in management for residents to complain to, and 3, I would say perhaps 3 feet high by maybe 2 feet wide sign that would dissuade people from double parking. But before I move on, I received a text from Detective Pena, and he has his hand raised. So please, Jonathan Pollock, Officer Detective Pena, please. Detective, you have the floor.
Hey, so I mean, we just want to add a few more things to the end. I mean, before the board takes a vote, obviously we'd like to see new businesses open up and thrive, especially in this this time that we're in right now. But we still have to be responsible to the community that we serve. As you can see, one of the residents, they stated that they didn't even post the sign that stated that they were coming to the community board. So I don't know how many in the community that live around there know that they're coming for a license. And everyone keeps referring it to it as Arca, but what we forget is the name of the business was Wahai Oyster, but everybody remembers it as Arca because Wahai Oyster honestly didn't even operate for more than what it was supposed to for I don't even know how many months, and it just turned straight into Arca Lounge, and that's what the precinct was dealing with, all the time, which was Arca Lounge. And with this area in service in this business, we can only go by what we know, and what we know is how that location used to operate. And if there is an affiliation with the previous owners, we can only assume, and whether it's right or wrong, but we can only assume that this is the plan that may be going forward, especially in these times where we've seen when businesses start to struggle in this area, they tend to throw, the rules and regulations to how they're supposed to operate to the wind to try to make some money so they can not fall behind. And with a location that has a capacity of 194, 198, that could be a recipe for disaster. We don't want to see anybody throw their money away, but we also, like I said, we have a responsibility to the community. And there's a lot of things that we just can't overlook from the past, like over 300 301 complaints, just in 1 year, in 2018. All the fights, all the assaults, the underage, all the stuff that happened at that location, not to mention all the stipulations that were on their license that they didn't agree to. And I think if the board is going to vote in a positive direction, which is your decision, I think there should be stipulations as opposed to no valet parking. And there should be stipulations as to if they're going to sell hookah, it should be with a valid hookah permit. And if this is truly going to be a restaurant, then we should seriously consider allowing them to open with DJ and live music. Considering that there was so many noise complaints in the past, I think we as a whole owe it to the community to make sure that these things don't start. And then revisit it. Maybe they can come back in 6 months and revisit it and see if they've been, a good business to the community and change some things.
Something that I would like to entertain, which is to add that as a step as well, which will be a no valet parking. Angel, again, we put in this as a step, but I really understand that that is completely illegal. No hookah without a permit. I think that's fair. And then if you get your certificate and you approve of this permit, all the lucks to you. But in the meantime, I will entertain those two steps. Officer Pena, you mentioned the hookah and the no valet parking, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, if they have a valid, permit to sell hookah, then, they'll be allowed to sell hookah. But as we know, a lot of places don't. And for the places that do have a permit, they shouldn't have competition from people that don't have a hookah permit. So they should follow the laws and rules just like everybody else. And just to go back to, that question, it may have been a private party, but still, if it's a public gathering inside of a business, you still need a liquor license, whether it's a temporary or a permanent liquor license, you still need a liquor license. So the fact that people maybe weren't observing the rules without having a liquor license, it just makes us a little nervous when you're going to have a liquor license, or will you actually observe the rules?
Very well. Committee members.
So Officer Pena had a comment regarding the live DJ and so on and so forth. Is that something that we can consider, like in terms of possibly like limiting live DJ and music for, I guess, like a year or so, or something to that degree, until like there is some type of, again, regain of trust within the community? Like, I'm trying to reach compromise here.
So let's review and let's have Angel review the method operations as to how they want to apply it. And then we can make a determination to see whether or not it's something that we want to limit, negotiate, leave this assist. We can have the discussion as a committee. So Angel, can you please review the method operations as far as like the music, karaoke, and all that is concerned?
Absolutely, I can. As I said, I'm willing to work with you guys. That's not a problem. But I just want to be clear about something. In regards to the past, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to erase it. But I don't want to be singled out as well. And it sounds to me like there's a lot of stuff going on that it's not related, and we want to address it to erase the past. But I would hate to see something other that takes place other than my control. That's outside of my control.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but based on understanding and comments that I've heard from community members, they want to work with you to see what type of new owners you're going to be. But there's still concerns that need to be addressed. I think that we are willing to give you a clean slate, but we got to be cautious. And the question that was asked about was the method of operations, talking about if you're going to have jukebox, DJ, karaoke, and live music. So can you please tell us a little bit more of that? Because one committee member is a little bit concerned about, these issues, and
Sure.
It's proper to us.
Sure. So
Can we limit
as
it
I said earlier,
weekends?
I'm sorry, Aurelia?
Can we limit it to the weekends? Give them, 2 days a week? Because, I always say this, and I say it to Chairman Bradley when I'm at the Liquor Authority. In Washington Heights, a restaurant without a DJ or without some form of music, even if it's a guitar non-acoustic, doesn't work, it fails. we're setting them up for failure. Give them 2 days with some type of entertainment. They're closing early. We're not talking about 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, even 2 o'clock.
I get it. I get it. So the idea is to have a couple, at least perhaps Fridays and Saturdays, Waldies, only for DJs. What do you think about that? Would that be something that will be addressing your concerns, Waldy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, well, sorry, Angel. So I would defer to.
He can't hear you.
Oh,
He can't
okay.
hear you.
Yeah. So I would defer to Officer Pena just for being that, you know, those are the folks that will be responding to these types of issues and will be, you know, kind of in given the task to manage them. And so I just want to just defer to Officer Pena. It was an idea that kind of ignited my thought and my idea to ask the question to see if this is something that we could agree towards, like, together, if that's okay.
Right. So when it comes to like the hard part that we run into is when it comes to like different stipulations with this operating times, when someone's allowed to have a DJ, when they're not allowed to have a DJ, it becomes not only sometimes leads the business owners into a trap, because then, you know, they sometimes either they forget or they just do it, and if they're not a problematic location, we tend to not really stop in there if we don't have to. But if they have a DJ when they're not supposed to, and we issue a summons for it or notify the SLA, it's a hefty fine that the SLA is going to levy against the business. So, you know, keeping track of that sometimes is really difficult, not only for us but for the business owner.
Well, this would be perhaps a middle ground, perhaps something like until midnight, DJs until midnight. Shouldn't be that aggressive, I guess. I mean, we have places that close down at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, if you was going to do Friday and Saturday, I mean, I would say that's to me, that sounds like normal, you know, weekend business. You know, people have to work on Mondays, you know, but he has to understand too, if, you know, if New Year's Eve falls on a holiday, you need to understand also what you're agreeing to. You know, if you agree to only have DJs on maybe Friday, Saturday, or even Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if New Year's Eve is on a Tuesday, you don't have DJs. And you're closing at 1, which means last call at 12:30. You know, so you just need to understand what you're agreeing to.
Yeah. So I would agree with Officer Pena. I would also, you know, like I strongly also too, like Angel, I would strongly advise, you know, to take into consideration to not like make this into like a lounge type of vibe. And the reason why I say that is because, again, you know, just we wouldn't want. It's like, again, I'm trying to play both sides here and see like and try to like, you know, be a voice for the people, but also like understand like your side as well from a business operational standpoint. You know, like I think it helps both sides if it doesn't operate like a lounge. And the reason why I say that is because, number one, you wouldn't be hit with so many fines and so on and so forth, God forbid, you know, given, you know, like if for whatever reason, if they're outside of the method of operations. And then on the other side, the community could also feel better about like having a business that would be more geared towards being a restaurant and so on and so forth. So just again, like I think more of a point of suggestion or advice or something like that.
So, Waldis, what is the stipulation that you might have in place? Or are we speaking with the meth operations until 1? What will be your recommendation?
So I think personally, so I think that 1 a.m. Fridays, Saturdays is solid. I think 12 a.m. the rest of the days would be cool, but that's just me again, like trying to be reasonable.
And again, you're a very valuable member of our community. Anything that you said, I have got to pay attention. So the idea is for Saturdays and Fridays and Saturdays until 1 a.m. and then the rest of the days until midnight, right? Well,
yeah, that would be like my suggestion. But I don't know if anybody else on our board committee would like to speak to that or have anything else to say.
How will you go with that? How do you feel about that? Fridays and Saturdays until 1 a.m. And then the rest of the day is until midnight, as far as like music and all that's concerned.
That works for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Any consideration will work.
Thank you so much. And again, you can always come back later on when you prove yourself to be a good neighbor, maybe change another provision if that's what you want. But for now, Cindy, are you on? Cindy Matos. So we're going to have entertain like 5 steps.
I'm here.
So Cindy, we're going to entertain 5 stipulations, which are a good neighbor sign, a phone number to be displayed in front of the premise in case there are issues or concerns for the neighbors, a 3 feet by 2 feet sign, another parking. There'll be no valet parking as a step as well. And there'll be no hookah unless they have a permit. Those will be 5 steps. Now, Cindy, you have a
Is there a
question?
step for hours? Is there a step for hours?
I'm sorry?
Is there a step for hours?
Yes, Fridays and Saturdays until 1 a.m. closing time, and the rest of the weekdays, midnight, 12 midnight. Now, the way we're going to do steps is the following. You heard the stipulations that would entertain, correct? You're going to have those steps, call the community board via WhatsApp or video, and then Ebenezer, who is the district manager, will see it through a video that you actually sign in that. And those will become steps. And you gotta do that before the next general board meeting.
So let me just check. So you want me to type this up and then sign it in with a video and send it to, and scan it and send it to him? Okay.
No, you have to sign.
Let me just, can
live.
I just, can you read them again?
So Cindy is going to send that out to you. The steps.
I'll email the step forms to you, Valeria.
Oh, great. Thank you, Cindy.
So then you're going to call Ebenezer via video, and you're going to sign that steps in his presence, even though it will be done through a video. Understood?
What's the timeline on signing?
Before the next board meeting.
Okay.
Very well. Based on those 5 steps, I recommend I go to a vote. Any positions? You're right. We're going to go to a vote.
Okay. So this is for item number 6. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. I am abstaining from this. Cindy?
Abstain.
Rosie?
Yes.
Yes, Rosie?
Yes.
Thank you. Robin?
Yes.
Ashley?
No.
Waldiz?
Yes.
Yes. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 yeses, 2 abstentions, and 1 no.
I think we do have another committee member in. Does that count? Who joined us. He's not a committee member. A community board member. Huh?
Sorry?
No,
Rosie?
it does not count. This is
Oh,
a
it
committee
doesn't-
vote.
All right, thank you so much, guys. So this application passes. Angel, I hope you do well.
Thank you.
I'll pass by, and I hope that you do prosper.
Congratulations.
Please
Thank
keep in touch with the residents, the prison, and again, under these circumstances, I really hope that you do well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take care, guys. Before we go to the next item, I'd like to take a break. If you guys don't mind, of 2 minutes, or maybe 2 minutes, because I'm home. Let me just, give me 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Officer Peña, I want to start this year better to making sure that post-COVID, the rules are followed, first of all. And second of all, you know, I'm in Queens, people are dying. So I'm not supporting applications where they're not following the rules. So that was very important to me on a couple of these things. So I think that location, you're not gonna have an issue. The new ownership is good. They're good guys. I've been watching them. And I think that you're not gonna have any issue. Just so you know, I'm not trying to fluff it up, but going forward, I'm not for too much nonsense these days. And by the way, on New Year's Eve, that last year, I had a fist fight with that owner to not do what he did, and he did it anyway. So just so you know. So we're following the rules this year. Angels, you're
Unfortunately,
Angels are right
you're not
guy.
there when they're open. So.
Excuse me, may I ask who the assistant chair is? Is it Gerard?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, no, I just want to make sure we don't have, since it's being recorded, that we don't have ex parte communication here. So,
oh my God.
While the chair is gone, there really shouldn't be anything. Thank you.
Natalie, point is well made. Gerard, are you on the line? Gerard is assistant chair. If not, Cindy. Cindy, are you on the line?
I am here.
Would you all take over for this and make sure that nothing inappropriate takes place? Gerard, you have the floor.
Okay.
Absolutely. Natalie, thank you for being so conscientious.
So did Isidro want us to proceed, or what did he?
He wanted
he
to
was
us
breaking
to
up.
wait. Us to wait.
Oh, good.
I've taken my time. I'm back. Do I have all my committee members back and the precinct? I see Ashley, Cindy, Gerard, Aldous, very well. Thank you guys. I have to refresh. Not used to this yet. Very well. So let's, if it's okay with the precinct and committee members, let's proceed to the next agenda item. Would that be okay? Committee members?
Yes.
Raise your hands, yes. Very well. So for the next agenda item, it's agenda item number 7, Julian Kitchen, doing business at Julian Kitchen, located at 400 West, 22nd Street. This will be a new license, fully license. Let me go through the routine, which is to introduce the merchant, and they will tell us about the concept, what to expect, how they're going to work with the community, and what type of relationship will be established with the community. Sherman Creek is an area that has been to some extent neglected, and because of the rezoning issue, some merchants there had mixed feelings about whether they're going to stay there, but that is politics aside. I want to make sure that if the new economic development coming to our community, and if they are sound for the community, that they do well, we'll be willing to listen to them and entertain some ideas and concepts. And for that, we have a representative from Julian Kitchen. Please raise your hands, then Jonathan is going to unlock you. I see John Paul.
John Paul.
John Paul, can you please, for the record, and the purpose of the minutes, please tell us your name and affiliation to this establishment.
My name is John Paul, and I'm the manager of Julian Kitchen.
And what's the title again? I'm sorry, John.
Owner, partner, manager.
You'll be the manager,
Yes, and partner.
managing partner, okay. Very well. Do we have any representative from Aguilan?
Yes, Robert Collins.
And Naomi Ram.
And Alex Amano.
Okay, so who's the?
And Andrew Stalkup.
Okay, so just give me your name and affiliation one by one, please. Naomi, understand, and you and Alex are owner, right?
I'll be the CFO of the company. Yes, this location.
CFO. And Alex?
Yeah, actually, John Paul is going to be running the business.
Very well. And then the attorney's what's the attorney's name?
I'll be a managing member.
And the attorney's name, what is the attorney's name? I missed it.
Andrew Stalkup.
Andrew, thank you, Andrew. Very well. So can you please share with us what is the project, what can we expect, and tell us everything that we can know, then we proceed for residents and executives. But the other floor, sir. John, I mean,
So Isidro, as you know, and you, a lot of you are, I know you per se have been to our flagship location in Midtown. We already have one flagship location in Midtown Manhattan, the Limelight Building. We also had one in the Hamptons for about 3 years. The Hamptons is seasonal. The flagship location is opened up year round. We've been established since 2015. The basic concept of the restaurant is combining food and art. The flagship location, I'm not sure how much you guys know about the history of the Limelight, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rob, help me out here.
Well, look, we took a great historic location, incorporated a lot of beautiful things from its history, from its art collection. You had Andy Warhol be an amazing part of that. So we created a whole room to him called the Warhol Room. We feature some of his art and we rotate different artists. We love great food. Honestly, I pride myself on service. I've been in the hospitality business basically my entire life, probably conceived in the business. My family's been into my entire life. It is my passion. It is my thing to do. I love to make people have a great time, great service, and great food. You know, it kills me to be out of operation right now. It breaks my heart. I do like delivery, but that's only, you know, delivery is only one part of it. I miss the whole other schmooze, the laughter, the whole ambiance, the action. It's, you know, it's a tough thing to be out of the business. It's the longest I've been out since probably diapers, and it's not easy. But you know, we want to be a vibrant public community. We love, you know, we have a great thing where people love to host events from us. We hold corporate events. We hold wedding parties. We hold bar mitzvahs. You know, we're great for all that. The food is perfect. Our food is passable, very shareable. So we like being a great part of the community. We're very tied into the 13th precinct. Deputy, the commanding officer, Hellman. If Mr. Pena wants to reach out and ask Stephen Hellman, who's the deputy inspector and the CO, you can ask them how we're a part of them. We help them with events. We host neighborhood watches, which has been an integral part of the police station. You know, that's what it is. We run a great restaurant. You know, we run a first-class, tip-top restaurant.
Yeah, we also have a quarterly block meeting that we hold with a local precinct and our local community businesses. We donate all the food. We tackle local causes, community causes, business causes. We come together how we can fix those issues, what contributions us, the restaurant, and our neighboring businesses can add to pretty much improving the overall movement and flow of our community.
I might add, we were also commissioned by the NBA to have the food at Chicago All-Star
right
a couple of months ago.
Yes,
so
actually
that's
right before the pandemic happened. I'm not sure how many of you saw, but we do have a very large celebrity clientele that do love the food.
For Valentine's Day, actually, Cardi B, this was her restaurant of choice. She pretty much, there's so much notoriety and there's so much media and so much attention that the restaurant can bring to really any community, and a lot of it has to do with the food. It's all about the food. It's all about the concept of the food, and you know, it brings a good vibe and a good mesh of art and food and the atmosphere. We're an upscale Asian eatery also, so just the overall experience of what we're looking to bring to the community is really top notch and one of a kind.
What type of food are you going to be serving?
It's Asian food, so we focus pretty heavily, primarily on Chinese, but we also have a lot of Japanese influences. We have some Thai dishes. We have some Korean. So I love Asian food. It's my passion. So we pretty much represent that cuisine.
Very well. So let me just call the application that you filled out. And some of the questions require only a yes or no. So please bear with me. And if you have any questions, please stop me. So who's going to be operating the establishment?
Can I just add one more thing, please? We are also planning to donate 50,000 masks to the community. And please let me know when I can bring it over. I'll be more than glad to bring it to the community board.
My house.
So, again,
so myself and John Paul will be managing over the location.
So, and I pretty much manage the overall. I'm sorry, I pretty much manage the overall financial aspect of the business. The day-to-day operation manager, Robert, usually manages the back of the house, meaning the kitchen, food. He's very good with the food curation itself, coming up with the concept for the food, the execution of the food, working with the chefs, things like that. John Paul is a lot more because he's a lot into the artsy part of it. He's very well endowed with the film and the music industry as well. So for the experience part of it, he's more front of the house. Robert is more back of the house, not more the financial aspect.
Very well. So someone that is producing some noise, and I don't know what that is. So as far as what's the capacity on this establishment?
Capacity is 300.
Okay. Now let's go over the method of operations to see someone that is producing a lot of noise.
We do also have, we're the only business in the neighborhood.
Sorry, just 1 second. Jonathan, can you please mute everyone except the restaurant owners and attorneys? Jonathan.
Yes.
Okay. So the capacity is 300, right?
Correct, yes. And I know it seems like parking in the neighborhood seems to be just because of
let's get there when we get there, please.
I said it seems like previous entities that parking was a big problem for a lot of the community members, a lot of residents.
Let's get there when we get there.
Oh, okay.
Solution for that.
Let's concentrate on the method of operations. And you can answer yes, no, and I could just put it here. I'm
Okay.
going to have a jukebox.
Jukebox, yes.
You have a DJ.
Yes.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
And live music.
Yes.
Okay. Very well.
Yeah. And we're gonna have community night with the live music there and a movie and dinner.
We're going to discuss the live music. Let me just make sure that we have all the items together, then we can discuss it.
Right.
Are you going to have a sound limiter installed?
Correct, but please understand, we are in a commercial area. There are no residential next to us.
let's go to the specifics. I got a questionnaire here that I have to follow. Would a sound limiter be installed? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Would the space be properly soundproofed?
absolutely.
Would there be a third-party promotion?
No.
No,
Would you require security personnel?
Let me be very honest with you. We did check off yes, but 90% of the time, probably not. But for example, we do have like a lot of high-end record labels. So at times there are guys that do want to have a security presence there and they're fully dressed, all in suits.
So it would be a theater, right?
Yes, yes.
Even though they can be suited, they have to be registered by New York State.
Yes, no, we
Absolutely.
do have
License.
security company as well that we work very closely with at our current venue. For
Are
certain,
you going to have, how many security cameras are you going to have inside and outside?
we have a total about 24. You're asking for cameras, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Question, would this establishment be in compliance with all New York State agency codes and regulations?
yes,
Are you going to have any rooftop, patios, sidewalk cafe?
No.
no.
Now let's go into the hours of operation for establishment.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will be open from lunch at 12 and we'll close at 2. On Thursdays, we do want to do a comedy night, so we also are requesting 2 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays will be open from 12 lunch to 4 a.m. and Sundays from 12 lunch to 2.
Can you repeat the Saturday one?
Saturdays from lunch, 12 p.m. to 4 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays, we're asking for the same time frame.
Okay, so now I'm getting confused. So Mondays through Wednesdays, 12 to 2 a.m., right?
Thursday as well, Monday through Thursday.
Monday to Thursday, very well. And then Fridays and Saturdays,
4 a.m. and Sunday 2.
and Sundays,
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
very well. And you said the capacity is 300.
It's 3, correct.
How many chairs and tables are you gonna have within the premise?
We have a total of 58 tables, 232 chairs, and 12 bar stools.
Very well. So I think I got all the information in. Now it's the time for the precinct to render their opinion on this particular premise. Officer Detective Pena.
Hi, Isidro. So a few questions I have. On the application that we received from the community board, you have patron dancing checked off.
That is correct. Keep in mind, we do have like a lot of private events. I mean, and for example, we do have in the restaurant business, the holiday season is probably the biggest season that we look forward to. It's almost near impossible for you to have large corporate events and tell patrons that they're unable to play background music or they're unable to.
I understand that. I understand that, but I think
not move or whatever the case is. In terms, are we looking for a club DJ with people dancing crazily on the floor? Not at all. It's not what we are. It's not what we want to be. We're a restaurant. It's pretty much the vibe we're looking to achieve. But at the same token, you know, the holiday time is what we live for. You can't really have a holiday party when you're doing certain events and tell people they're unable to dance.
Yeah, as well as the birthday party.
Okay, no, I understand that, but if I'm not mistaken, I think you need a separate permit for dancing inside of the business. I could be wrong, but that's just a question that I have. But also, you know, I know you have other locations. I know you've had some incidents in your other in other Junlau locations. There's one in Southampton. I think I saw a fight on Instagram and another one in Manhattan. The last time you were going to come up, I had that, you know, for myself to look at. But
how long ago was this, officer?
I'm sorry?
How long ago was this? How long?
When I saw it, it was the last time they were coming up is when I found it on Instagram. So I don't know when the last time they came before the board. I can look back through my videos and see it. But you know, I know you have all the other locations and you have high class clientele and you know you're doing well, but that area on 202 Street we've had a lot of issues on that street, and the community has suffered a lot of damage on that street. Multiple people have been slashed. We've had people shot. We've had people killed. Every weekend, we're forced to close the street because the traffic congestion on 202 Street from the existing businesses is just way too much. You have people walking in the street. You have cars parked on the sidewalk. You have valet parking that just parks cars wherever they want in the street. And now we're looking to put another high capacity location of 300 people in the same saturated area. And you're questioning if you're going to have security or not. You're saying you're checking off that you want to have patron dancing. You're asking for live music, a DJ, with such a high capacity. We don't believe that this is just going to be a straight restaurant. We believe that this is going to be another nightclub, unauthorized nightclub in the 34th precinct, where we're going to further deplete police resources and cause, you know, the public to be in even more danger. And especially, and then you look at we don't know what the new guidelines are going to be once there's a full reopening. If for some reason they instill occupancy restrictions, could you even be operating and be successful with operating half or a quarter of your occupancy? You know, this business has come before the community board many times. We have said the same thing many times. You know, we just can't support another high capacity location in a highly saturated area. Every business on 202 Street has had issues. Cliff has been closed down. Opus was suspended and paid heavy fines to reopen. Taboga has had issues. Brasier has had issues. We cannot see this business opening up right now on 202 Street.
If you don't, all good points. Now give me a moment to actually take and address each and every single point. First off, we are going to be the only business in that entire neighborhood that was actually approved for 200 parking spaces. We do have valet parking. Now, regarding the security issue, the reason why I said that we may and may not need security depending on the day, depending on the occasion, depending on the event, is because we are not a nightclub. We're not looking to be a nightclub. We're not looking to operate as a nightclub. We're a restaurant. Depending on the event we're having, security guards may be called for or may be needed or may not. There is no reason for me to have 50 security guards on premises if I'm literally serving dinner to 300 people. I almost never have security in Manhattan. It's not what we're about, and it's not what we're trying to do. Now, with just the congestion of the area itself, I will be the only business there that's actually approved to alleviate that problem.
Let me just ask you, who approved you for that, and where are those 200?
So much approved us. We have a contract with the Flair Beverages. He's my landlord there, so I have exclusive parking space with him.
Where though?
It's at 206 and 9th Avenue.
Would that be where the supermarket is at, in front of a Flair shop?
It's called Gagliardo.
Okay, so then just so I understand, so you have all the cars coming to your location, right?
Correct.
Valet. Hold on. Just let me finish.
Park in the parking lot.
Just let me finish. So they're gonna pull up to your business, right? They're gonna drop their car off there, And then the valet has to, your audio is not on.
Muted. Yeah, you're muted.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you.
So just answer yes or no for me, so we can get through it quick. Are they gonna pull up to your business and leave their car there so valet can take it to the parking spot? Or do they pull up in the parking lot and then come to your business?
They're pulling up to the business.
Okay, so then unless you have an army of valet guys, there's gonna be a colossal amount of cars parked there waiting for the valet attendants to take the car from one place to the other. And I will tell you now, we already have that issue. More than any neighborhood should have to deal with on that street.
Officer Pena, with all due respect, we are on the corner, the whole entire Ninth Avenue. We are there, and we are surrounded by the park, by the Kennedy Center. There's absolutely no park there. So there's plenty of space for our client to leave the team. And if we see there's going to be problem like that, then we'll ask them, we'll have a shuttle that they probably will ask the client to park their car in the parking lot, and then we shuttle them back and forth to the restaurant, if that's what it will take. But also with the issue that you have with the existing problem as of right now, I don't know how should we be involved with that, or why should we be penalized for that? We have nothing to do with that. New York City is the big community, and New York Police Department has over 30,000 police officers. I think you guys can handle that better than anybody else. And
Well, nobody's penalizing you for it, sir, and that's the common misconception. We're not penalizing anybody for what happens on that street or in the location in the past. What we need to do, job is to speak on behalf of the community and to voice the concerns and what issues we deal with. If we don't do that, we're not doing our job. And if we just, not say anything about any issues that are going on, we're doing a disservice to the community. And if another business comes in, no matter who it is, and they cause problems to the community doesn't deserve that. And quite honestly, the community has been put through enough from that street for as long as I've been doing this, and it is my duty to speak on behalf of the community and all the people that have been hurt, injured, and killed on that block.
I understand. We actually feel for the community. We understand the problem. But we also want to invite every community member come to our restaurant so they can understand who we are and what we do and what we're all about. We do not have a nightclub. We do not want to be a nightclub. We don't need to be a nightclub.
Yeah, check us out on Instagram.
I mean,
Julan Kitchen. You have thousands of photos. We have 30,000 followers on that.
If
You
I
can
mean,
see
in
the type of
terms,
clientele that come over there.
Just 1 second, please. Officer Pena, do we have any other concerns?
I just want to also mention, in terms of,
Just give me a minute, please.
in terms of having the valet, listen, employing as many as it takes are.
We're going to address that later on. Just give me 1 second. Officer Pena, do you have any other issues?
No, those are the issues. I think they're pretty serious concerns. We've had this discussion in the past. I know you and I have had this discussion in the past on how serious, the issues are on that street. That's it. I hope those concerns are heard.
Okay, so let me open up the floor now to the residents because they also have a right, and I like to hear them out. So while this, I'm going to rely on you and Jonathan to take care of this. Do we have any residents that want to be heard or posted any comments?
Yeah, I don't see any comments on the chat box.
I want to make a comment on behalf of the Latino Restaurant Association.
1 minute. Robin, you timing. 1 minute. Go ahead.
I happen to know them since they applied for this application many moons ago. If we're trying to clean up this area, I couldn't recommend a better group of people. Yes, every restaurant has issues, but if you look in the whole spectrum of their trajectory on, they're the tenants of the Ashkenazis at the Limelight. So that's how I met them. And I'll be honest with you, we haven't had a moment of trouble with them. Additionally, forget about the star power and all of that. If with the hotel coming, We're looking to clean up this district so that our residents get what they deserve. Legitimate owners who are gonna do the right thing for residents, because these are gonna be challenging times. We support them fully. I think that we cannot continue to blame owners for the past mistakes because we're never gonna get a good owner. We're gonna turn down everybody. You know how long they've been waiting to be approved here? I think they show that they're gonna have.
1 minute. 1 minute.
So I support this application.
Time's up.
Hey, hey, Isidro, sorry. Somebody named Nancy Preston is wants to say something. So
Nancy, Rob, 1 minute. Nancy. Nancy Preston, you have 1 minute.
She has to be promoted to a panelist.
Here's Jonathan, do that, please.
Who is that? Say the name again.
Nancy Preston.
Yes, hi. So my question is, my understanding was that the Hamptons venue, there were issues there and that was closed down, and that there were previously a number of issues and violations at the 20th Street location. So that speaks to history, a little concerned about that. And also a question about the lawsuit for discrimination on disability and wage theft. And that was recent, that was this year. That was that lawsuit, I think it was in April. So those are my questions as to, you know, the operator.
Nancy, I just want to answer the question. First, let me tell you about the lawsuit. Number one, when each and every single employee is employed at the restaurant, they do have an employee manual that's handed to them in terms of what the employee dress code is. That particular employee that you're actually referring to, that pretty much had the article published in the New York Post, he was fired for insubordination and 12 written write-ups, including loss of over $1,200. So unfortunately, there is an employee manual and each and every single employee is adhered to those standards. You know, if things fall out of way or whatever the case is, unfortunately, you do have disgruntled employees, and then they take to social media, they take to the post, and we are a very, very high profile client and restaurant. People love to jump and gossip. I will tell you what though, first off, there isn't a lawsuit. There was just a complaint issued by this person. And if
Thumbs up, 1 minute.
If that is the case, tooth and nail.
1 minute.
There isn't
Thumbs
a
up.
person.
Okay, and can I just say one, am I here? Can you hear me?
Robin, it's 1 minute for the residents.
Yeah.
Nancy, you
Yeah. I just wanted to ask one thing. I know Phil Simpson actually sent a letter about some of the issues also, and I was wondering if that was going to be acknowledged.
Yeah, I would like to comment on that. I know who Phil Simpson is. He's an attorney. He's in litigation. He's defending a client of his, and his client has been harassing my clients now for quite some time. We've already taken with another entity a judgment against that client. We have 2 pending lawsuits against that client of his, and that letter, honestly, it holds no bearing and no weight in this action here. It's literally just a continuation of the same individual trying to promote a harassment and to defame and to honestly slander the 2 people in front of you right now. It has no weight. It has no bearing.
Good Morales, people. Don't give it too
thank
much.
you, Aurelia.
You all know who she is.
Okay, now we heard from residents, we heard the merchant, we heard the precinct. I will entertain now that we have some discussions within the committee members. You also have the right to ask questions. Either to the precinct, the merchant, residents, and etc. So, Rosie, what is your gut instinct telling you?
I personally feel like if we're gonna include stipulations in terms for the valet parking, but other than that, that's pretty much my big concern.
you want to consider some steps that will include the parking issue?
I mean, I think they're already addressing it by having a parking lot. So I'll give that to you guys to consider, but other than that, I don't really have an issue with the place.
Thank you. And I'm going to go through the newer members first. Ashley?
Yeah, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. John Paul and team, thank you for the overview. I do want to caution the committee and the panelists in particular with our language around cleaning up the community, because it is very condescending and giving our community members something that they deserve, like something as nice as Julan Kitchen is great, but we just need to take caution there. That's number one. Number two, I'm curious to John Paul and team, if you guys have considered how you will engage the community. So I do think that the restaurant looks gorgeous from what I've seen online and Instagram. I'm curious to know if people from Washington Heights and Inwood can actually afford some of the some of what you guys are selling. But also, in addition to that, curious to know if you guys are going to look into hiring locally, whether it be the valet or actual or staff, host, kitchen staff, however. I want to know your plans there.
All good questions, Ashley. I just want to actually address each and every single one of them. Now, in terms of engaging with the local community, like I mentioned before, what we started in, which is something I actually plan on doing in the Inwood community, we started a Build the Block quarterly meeting where we meet with the precinct, local community members, and local business and community leaders, address issues, concerns, whatever the case is, and work as a community, a contributing member of community with everybody within that community. We want to be a part of that. In terms of hiring local, absolutely. That's why we want to be there. Personally, we are honored to be a part of this neighborhood and even to be open-heartedly accepted here. This is why we've been fighting for this license for it's almost 8 years. It's because we see the love and the warmth of everybody that truly understands what is the concept of and what is the food. They just accept us open-heartedly. This is why we want to be a part of. This is why we've been fighting for it.
You know, honestly, God, here, this is the problem. We've been there for 8 years. Can you imagine how much money it has cost us? We are the real owner. We are the one that actually, the business is under our name, is our bank. We are real. And we are the only one who could have stayed there and suffered through all these things. There's a lot of jealousy about us, and none of these people want us to be there. And all we're going to do, you're going to see even one nice restaurant will really change the neighborhood. We're going to hire all the people from there. Even currently, our people, actually my manager, Eddie, is from Uptown Manhattan.
It's going to
My
be
bartenders
infectious.
are from there. I mean, we would love to hire people from there, and we're going to actually work with you guys, and we're going to have you on the board to hire from community.
Time's up, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Actually, well put, this community doesn't need to be cleaned, doesn't need to be washed out, and under no circumstances we're going to allow that. So thank you for bringing that up. Ashley, it's a very critical comment that we got to be careful how we take it and how it has been addressed. For now, I do understand that Officer Pena has a comment. Officer Pena, Detective Pena.
Hey, Isidro, it's Lieutenant Contreras. I have a question. The problem is, if this is a restaurant, a legit restaurant, why do we need to have it open until 4 o'clock in the morning? Everything on 202 closes at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's a lounge. Brazier closes at 4 is a lounge. Taboga, when it was there, was closing at 2, and on the weekends it was closing at 4 is a lounge. Opens, closes at 4 is a lounge. So if this is a legit restaurant, like they're saying, why is it that we need it open until 4 o'clock?
Detectives, I think it's important for you guys to understand 2 things. Number one, it's very important for us to understand how the community operates, the hours of operation with similar businesses or neighboring businesses, because You have to understand, if we want to flourish there, you have to give us a chance and an opportunity to capitalize on a demographic that we may not necessarily see at 12 o'clock. This is why we're asking on Fridays and Saturdays to be open until 4. Now, you guys also, when I sent you guys an email in terms of what we are and what we're about, Deputy Inspector Hellman, I attached his personal phone number there. I sent you guys this email mid-March, and I asked you guys to call him. He will tell you exactly who we are, how we operate, and what is our reputation in the precinct. We are not a nightclub. We don't want to be a nightclub.
He's deputy inspector.
We're not aiming to be a nightclub. And the only reason we're actually
Time's up, 2 minutes.
for the 4 a.m. on Friday and Saturday.
Waldis, like to hear from you.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm echoing what the 34th precinct is saying. I mean, I would love for your restaurant to be in our neighborhood. Honestly speaking, haven't been. It's been on my list to attend. But I do hear great things, and I've had friends that have gone there, so I do hear great things. The only concern I do have is we wouldn't want that specific part of the neighborhood is known for what was mentioned before, what the 34th precinct has mentioned as issues like, certain violence, because a lot of folks that do conduct business as lounges and stuff have a hard time controlling it. I do want to note though, there is a business that I do like there, specifically Sushi Mambo. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but if you guys are going to be similar to that restaurant, obviously you guys are probably a little bit more upscale, then I don't necessarily see it as too much of a problem. I don't know the history necessarily, like with the 34th precinct and Sushi Mambo, but they do kind of operate very like a restaurant. They don't really operate like a lounge. And as far as I know, they don't have too many issues as far as I know. But the concern I think on my side is like if there is operations of like lounge, I understand if there's an event that's something separate. But if like continuous operations like lounge and promotion and stuff like that, that becomes a thing, then it could be a concern from a safety standpoint.
Sandy.
In terms of the sushi, yes, we do actually have affiliation with, I don't know if you guys have ever heard Sushi by Boo. Now, Sushi by Boo and Sushi by Bay is actually the only female sushi chef to be tributed in Vogue, and I'm the only person that has her. So in terms of the Asian part of it, yes, I'm almost positive we're probably very similar, but also very different, because the experience and the routine is very different. It would not be it's not regular sushi. It's omakase sushi, which is a chef's preparation of whatever they feel they want to make you that night. And it's 12-piece rolls, and they can start as cheap as $15, and it can be as upscale as $50, $75, depending.
Time's up.
Yeah, I was referring to, sorry, real quick, just to respond real quick. Yeah, I was referring to like there's a business in that kind of corridor in that area that has that operates, in my opinion, like pretty well. Like I don't really hear so many concerns. And if it's something similar to that, then I think you guys would be in a great position. Again, it's just like trying not to.
They don't know.
Mr. Cruz is correct. Sushi Mambo we have no issues ever at Sushi Mambo. But Sushi Mambo is also a 74 occupancy and a legitimate restaurant. They are the only legitimate restaurant on 202. Brassiere is supposed to be a restaurant. They're not. Taboga is supposed to be a restaurant. They flaunt that line very, very closely. Opus, believe it or not, is supposed to be a restaurant. It's not. We don't have any licensed nightclubs within the confines of the 34th precinct. And keep this in mind. If this location is allowed to close at 4 a.m. on a weekend, we're looking at having anywhere between 800 and 1,000 people coming out at the same time on 202 Street. That is a very large number of intoxicated people.
We should address that, Shirley. Cindy,
I agree with the precinct about the closing hours. I mean, if they're gonna operate as a restaurant, then maybe they should consider shortening the hours.
Sid, I agree with the lieutenant also. I believe if they're still a restaurant, why they don't go from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week?
okay, very well.
I have a quick question.
Rosie, yes, please.
So post-COVID, I'm interested in knowing more on how you will invest in the community. I know you're willing to hire people from the community. I know you mentioned that you want to provide masks, but how do you see yourself investing within this community, being the poorest zip code in Manhattan? I just want you to take into consideration that, and as well as how are you going to thrive in this neighborhood where it's between low and mid income?
I'm glad you actually asked that question, because it actually gives me a good segue to actually introduce one of the programs I have in my current restaurant. I have a program called Higher Learning Education, where the venue itself actually pays for employees to go back to school. So you have to understand, and we do understand that even in Manhattan, there's a lot of, sometimes within the industry itself, people don't necessarily have the opportunity to actually go back to school if they choose or if they want to. With the help of this restaurant, I was able, and it may not be a lot in your eyes, but I was able to successfully send 2 of my employees back to college. And it's something I'm actually very proud of. It may not seem like a large number, but for me, it's an incredible achievement, because to give someone the opportunity to change their life in general, doesn't matter where they want to be, whether it's in the restaurant or whether it's CEO of whatever company you choose to be 50 years from now, to know that the venue had a part in doing that, I'm very, very proud of that. The other question you actually asked about, and this goes back to curating food and art. We do actually want to partner up with a lot of local artists, just because there's a lot of local causes that someone who is in it 24/7 would understand what the causes are, and they're able to express it through art. And the reason I even bring this up is because I met, and I know I only have 2 minutes, but so I just want this to be fast. 3 years ago, I met someone, he's not from Inwood. I actually met this very young kid. He was 19 at the time, from Bronx, New York. And he had a very, 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 very interesting, I guess, curation of art. It was an artistic factor that actually dealt with the issues of suicide. And although it's such a hard subject to deal with, and a lot of people don't like to even address it or deal with it, we were able to take something that was so hard to deal with and actually put a focus on it. So a lot of the pieces that you actually see in the venue goes back to helping certain organizations if you choose to actually showcase the art in the venue.
Thank you so much.
When I say bringing food and art, it is truly what the restaurant is about. Meshing the idea of food, art, and whatever causes it is that in whatever neighborhood we're in would like to showcase. And that you'll find from the most artistic young generation that's coming up.
Can I request a copy of it?
Just 1 second, please. Robin, are you keeping time? Rob, are you keeping time?
Yes.
How much time do you have left?
20 seconds.
We're going over.
2 minutes, Rob. I'm sorry, who had a question?
I have a quick question. I would like to request a copy of the program that you do have, and if you can send me the results as well.
I have something to echo to Rosie's point. Is it possible for us to try to ensure, how can we ensure that this commitment to our community actually happens? So whether it be giving back or whether it be, hiring from within our community, how can we ensure that we that we engage our community that way?
I think I'm going to see how we can address this. 3 topics that have to be addressed, but I want to hear, if you have more questions, please bring it up. But I wanted to hear from each and every one of the members, and I think I'm missing Gerard. Gerard,
Greetings, just two comments. I appreciate the comments from the 34th. I understand that. And I just ask for some time management and this traffic management on this meeting. That's all.
So if we are to move forward based on what I sense from the committee members, there are some areas of concern that have to be addressed. And the question that I'm going to pose to the committee is that should we move forward with stipulations on this particular agenda item, addressing the parking issues, the higher local issues, and the hours of operations? You have to put steps with that, or do you want to close out this application?
I'm okay with steps.
Anybody else?
I am too.
Okay, we'll see. Ashley, how do you feel?
Yep, stipulation.
Bobby, how do you feel?
Stipulation.
Gerard?
Steps are fine.
Cindy?
Yes, steps, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so we are going to move with some steps. First, on the parking issue. We can't have a repeat of what has been going on around that particular area, where I have driven by consistently, and at times I cannot even move. Robert, I'm going to put you on mute because there's too much noise coming from you, and I know it's coming from your end. So the too many cars packed around, at times it's difficult to move, even at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. It has been a problem. You have indicated that you have a contract with the property owners from Flair Food and Beverages. If there is a contract, I would recommend or ask that you submit a copy of that contract to make sure that we have an understanding how many spots you're going to have. Absolutely. And committee members, if I miss something on this particular topic, feel free to jump in. Secondly, that the clients don't show up to the restaurant, but they should park first at the parking spots. That way we prevent this issue of cars coming up and down. So they should park first at the parking garage. That'll be the second. Yes,
what's the distance?
It's about 2 blocks. Is it 2 blocks? About 2 blocks. Do you have any concerns? Feel free, and I want to, proceed.
Because it's just 2 blocks, I don't see an issue with them parking first at the parking spot. Unless, yeah, it's preferable if they can park, but you will always have those customers that are not aware or don't know or don't read signs within the website. So that's the only thing that I'm like.
That's a good point.
To be honest with you, we worked with a lot of appointments, so there's a lot of reservation that we will let them know in advance. That's how the community wants it. I mean, make sure they follow the rule and regulation.
Yeah, we have no problem with having them park at the garage.
And
first.
thank you
That's
for your
fine.
insights. Yeah.
Okay. So the idea is that you're going to be sending out a copy of that contract prior to the.
You were actually presented the contract at the last meeting, but we can send it again, no problem.
Secondly, and this is a point that was brought up by I believe it was Ashley and Waldis. How can you ensure us that you're going to hire locally? We have been hit left and right with people that claim they're going to hire locally. What steps or processes do you have in place to ensure that you're going to hire, again, qualified? Because we're not going to punish you to hire people that are not qualified, right? Ultimately, you will make the decisions, but primary concern, we have the highest unemployment rate citywide. We have been the community that has gotten hit the hardest by this insidious pandemic. We have an industry that is in decay. And a lot of employees might lose their job in other places. So fine, you mentioned that you want to hire locally. I welcome that. But what process do you have in place?
Listen, I have no problem setting up a job fair. And listen, I would be more than happy to actually work with you, Isidro, maybe another community board member. I'll follow your lead in terms of, okay, Naomi, I'll tell you when our hiring dates are. We can set it up either at a senior center, within the community board itself. I have no problem actually going with you guys and partnering up with you guys with the hiring process, because this is something I want to do. You know, hiring locally is something that we, the venue, want, and we chose and we supported 110%. So in terms of, I leave that up to you guys. You just tell me, Naomi, this is, you know, we're going to partner up with X, Y, and Z, whatever it is that you guys feel that we need to do. I have no problem in terms of, because I want to show you guys that I'm 100% committed to hiring within the neighborhood, because this is why we're here.
I'm sorry, Naomi, I'm going to throw this back to Waldis, and I believe it was Ashley that brought up, and I don't know, maybe Rosie, how they're going to hire locally.
Listen,
what recommendations can you put in place, Waldis?
I can work with Rollis, and maybe I can work with Rosie, and we can come up, you know,
let's get them out, because this is not about Waldis, this is not about Isidro, this is not about Ashley, this is about the community and a committee. So we have to work here as a committee. And I'd like to know, Waldis, Ashley, and Rosie, if you perhaps have some recommendations that can be put in writing to see that they do hire locally, as this was stated.
So I know when I was working at the council, the way we would negotiate with business partners and construction workers is we would ask, well, the council members would request some sort of percentage of hiring local. But I don't know how it works in terms of the community board, so I don't want to necessarily spew that out and we go by that. But I would, if you guys give me some time in terms of doing some sort of research, I would be more than delighted to help out and try to.
I welcome it, absolutely. I would love to do that.
Only because I know we need it at this point.
I would love to be a part of it. I would love to be a part of that.
So Waldis and Ashley, on this point, would it be a comfortable idea for you guys to perhaps follow the lead from Rosie and you know, and finding out what kind of steps will be necessary to ensure hiring locally? Because she does have some experience on that. Would that be something that you feel will give you tangible aspect that they will hire locally?
Yes, for me, yeah, I'm happy to help Rosie and the team as well.
Okay, so what we'll do is we would have both Ashley and perhaps Waldis, and even myself and Rosie. I'm going to recruit you as the committee person as far as like hiring local is concerned, because for us it's important. And feel free to come up with a plan and then introduce to this
absolutely
group of committee members, and then we introduce it to the merchants to see if it's something that can work on.
Okay, and then we, in terms of deadline, would you want this prior to the general community board?
No, because it's too soon.
Oh, okay.
Because if it's approved, right, the license itself, the liquor license will take at least 4 months to 5 months minimum.
Okay.
We'll have time. But it's a great idea that you brought up, and I'm really grateful for that. Now, so we dealt with the parking spot.
Oh wait, can I bring something up for the parking spot? Only because I noticed that in 207 there's like a dead end street right around, and there's like a lot of abandoned cars. I don't know who's responsible for that.
I offer to clean that spot for the community.
No, that'll be something that either sanitation,
I just want to ask
or there might be people take care of that. We don't want any.
But
if it's parked cars that are just left there, we want the property to take care of that.
We love the community. We have no problem. You have to understand. I've been to school. I've been to college. I'm graduate from City College. My son is graduate from Pace University.
Alex, we don't want you to be taking over the duties of our.
Not an opportunity. We're not taking over anybody. We just
No, Alex, it's okay. It's okay. So what I'm pretty much saying is, it's like I just want to know whose responsibility is that? Is that like sanitation?
And I believe
police department.
My understanding is that the NYPD will give us some summonses, and later on, sanitation has the right to pick up any vehicle that is left on the street that doesn't have a registration or plates. Would that be correct, Detective Fannin?
That is correct. We have issued numerous summonses in the past. We've towed vehicles, including mobile food trucks that were there illegally in the past.
Very well. Now, so let's go into the hours of operations.
Respect to Officer Pena, if the precinct allow us to help the precinct to take those cars out of there, it's very easy for us to handle that.
The community doesn't want to deal with that. We don't want to get engaged into what the duties of the NYPD might be. Sanitation, that's not our job. So please, Alex, to bring that up.
Okay, sorry about it.
Because I don't want to get this idea of doing special things for people. That's not going to work. Now, for the hours of operations, statement made by at least 3 or 4 of our committee members. I'm also a little bit concerned about the hours of operation staying 4 o'clock in the morning. And based on what you have, that would not be something that I think this committee will approve. So if you really want to be a true restaurant, as you want to be, I think that this community needs to be needs to absorb what is that you bring into the community. We would like to welcome you, but 4 o'clock closing for me tells me like right away this will be a nightclub. So I want to have this conversation very clear with you that if it's your intention to be a nightclub, 4 o'clock, it's not gonna happen.
So I want to also just to piggyback off you, Isidro. I do agree with Isidro. Again, like just to like echo back like the concern of safety and so on and so forth, and what the 34th precinct has gone through regarding that area, because it's not necessarily you guys, it's just more so the area that's the concern. But I guess somebody that wrote in the chat and it made me like now and then Google you guys and stuff. But I see you guys already like kind of operate at like at 1 a.m. You guys close at 1 a.m. in your downtown location, and then I think 12 a.m. for like Friday, Saturdays. Correct me if I'm wrong, and like 12 a.m. on Tuesday to Thursday, and then at 11 p.m. Monday, Sunday through Tuesday, I think, or Monday. And so like I guess maybe kind of maybe creating a method of operations of hours around that could be helpful. Also too, to think I guess, and also the reason why it's kind of concerning as well, you guys are named in the website is Hulang Club. So I guess like the concern is we wouldn't want you to operate as a club, more so like as a restaurant, you know?
Yes, go ahead.
I wanted an opportunity to respond. It's actually Yulon Club. And the reason it's Yulon Club is because Yulon Club was actually an art society in Shanghai, China that traded art underground during the movement. But the venue in Uptown Manhattan is going to be Yulon Kitchen. We're actually DBA Yulon Kitchen, so it'll be DBA Yulon Kitchen. That's what we're going to, just because we don't want to actually confuse.
The club has no association with an actual nightclub.
Yes, we don't want to confuse it.
Absolutely. Remember 21 Club? I mean, they use club at the end too, but it was just a restaurant.
Got it.
I see that Gerard has his hand up. Gerard.
I was just going to ask if we could be mindful. We've done 6 items. We're almost 3 hours. So really, in comparison to many of our licensing, it's going along. Just wanted for everybody's time.
Thank you so much, Gerard. Any other comments from other committee members? All right. So, you know, I travel around and I've been to this place going back to, I'll say like late 80s. Right now, it's a much better place than it was before. I've been lately there. It's a beautiful place. The ambience is nice. The music is nice. The service is great. And the food is obviously good. So I think it's a good concept. We got to work on the hours. If this is going to fly, let's work on the hours. Because I will not want to have the precinct to put us so much resources in one area, and then God forbid there's an emergency 5 blocks away that they will not have the proper resources to respond to that emergency. So on that end, I would like to entertain some modifications to the hours, and I'll leave it up to you, Naomi and Alex, to see what you think would be best. But 4 o'clock, at least on my clock, it's not gonna fly.
Right. I really don't want to really budge over that. I mean, it's fine between, the only reason that I'm saying that, because the experience we have in the city, and we have a lot of requests for late dinners, and we don't want to do it behind anybody. We want to be legal. We want to work with you guys. We are asking you, just give us an opportunity. And I'm duty the first one. I would not come to the precinct. I would not go to the community board. I would not complain if you guys come there and issue me violation or cite me for some kind of thing that I'm not supposed to do. Allow me to do it. Give me opportunity. I promise I will change. I will change the neighborhood. It's only sometimes take one right establishment to do the right thing. So the other people understand they can be legit and they can succeed. So we are here to invest, and we are here to work with every single one of you. But please, because you have bad experience with the other establishment there, don't let us burn because for the same reason. Give us an opportunity. If we fail you, come back 3 months from now, 6 months from now, say, you know, Alex,
Time's up. Time's up.
So I understand that you want to do well for the community, but again, try to use a better narrative, better language. You want to improve. That could be taken the wrong way. You want to supplement what we have in the community. We have a great culture in Uptown. We have an outstanding culture. So you have perhaps resources. Not a problem. Let's bring those together and let's see what we can come up with. But you know, anytime that we use about cleaning the neighborhood, doesn't sit well. And I know that you probably mean well. I understand that. But let's be a little bit sensitive when we deal about, you know, cultures and all that. But going to the hours, I personally will not feel comfortable letting a business in an area that needs a lot of assistance and a lot of care to open up until 4 o'clock in the morning. We can perhaps be a little bit flexible Thursday through Saturdays, but Sunday through Wednesdays, we got to work on some hours. Let me take perhaps Rosie, and I'm trying to entertain some new narrative into the game by highlighting some specific members. Ashley, Waldis, Ashley, Rosie, what do you think about it?
In terms of the weekdays, in terms of Monday through Thursday, just to be considerate of the residents, I would recommend pushing back the time from 1 a.m., 12 a.m. And then on the weekends, I'm okay with 2 a.m.
So you're saying Monday through Thursdays until what time?
Midnight or even 1 a.m. But it's kind of, because I feel like 2 a.m. is already pushing it.
And then Fridays through Sunday to 2 a.m., right?
Yeah, only for now. And then if you guys do come back, then we can consider something else.
Guys, keep in mind also, there are no residents around us.
We are.
I understand that. Ashley.
You know?
Commercial.
It's all commercial.
All
We're next to
commercial.
an
There is
empty
no-
parking lot.
There will be no
For a little clarity, there's thousands of residents right up the block from you that live in the Dykeman houses.
Yeah.
Ashley, Robin, Waldis, then Gerard. Ashley.
Yeah, I agree with what Rosie said. A 1 to 2 a.m. Closing time on the weekends is okay with me. And everything that Rosie echoed, I agree with.
Thank you. Robin.
I will say 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. every day.
Daily basis until 2 a.m.
Yes.
We'll go for that.
I mean, can we go
Not
for
bad.
that 12, 12 to
I'm just going through the committee members. Waldis.
2 a.m.?
Yeah, we can work with that.
We can work with that.
Waldis.
Waldis, your mic is muted.
Sorry, I'm okay. I'm gonna agree with Robin here. I want to give these guys a chance.
Thank you.
To be good faithful citizens in our community. But ideally they keep their word, and I hope to have faith in that.
Okay, Cindy.
Thank you.
So, Cindy, thank you. I'm sorry, Cindy.
I am gonna agree with Rosie and go, I would say midnight weekdays and then weekends 2 a.m. latest.
Okay, so Cindy, because you would not have majority because we have different options, 12 midnight is not an option. Either you amend to Rosie, which is 1 Monday through Thursdays, and 2 p.m. Fridays through Sunday.
Okay, yeah, I'll do 1 a.m. weekdays.
Okay, Gerard.
I could go with 1 weekdays, 2 weekends.
So I have to respect the majority's will. Those are the 3 members that want to close down. I want to see this place open until 1 a.m. Mondays through Thursdays, and then Friday to Sunday till 2 a.m. That will be the general consensus. If I go to the side, it will be a tie, and we got no way. We have to really speed up the agenda. So Naomi, Alex, I think that the standing is, and you can say yes, no, that to begin and open up in this area, the recommendation is that to open up until 1 a.m. Mondays through Thursdays, then Fridays to Sundays until 2 a.m.
Okay, I mean, it's a bit tough to.
No, before you go on, sorry. If you prove yourself, Alex, let me know when you.
If there is need for it.
So the idea is that if you do become a good neighbor, and the community feels that you have proven yourself, the members have said quite openly that if that happens, you can always come back and change the hours. Alex, Naomi, you have the floor now. Very well, that's been established. Cindy.
Yep.
Are we up with what we have requested as far as like the parking, the hire locally, the hours of operations?
Yes.
Okay, very well. Before I move to a vote, any last question from committee members? You all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, do you have a question?
Oh, no, that was from before.
Very well.
Great.
Rosie, I see that you want to say something.
Yeah, I have a statement. I only suggested those hours just to be fair with the other neighboring restaurants, because that's usually around the same time that we give them. It's not just to not trying to like single you out or anything. It's just
No, we understand. Listen, as long as we have an opportunity to come back and say, okay, because especially now with the pandemic and everything, we're really going to have to pull out all our stops here. And that's the whole thing. The entire industry is going to suffer. So I myself also, I want to give myself the best chance to survive and ride this out for 20, 40, 50 years to come. So as long as we can come back down the road and say, guys, let's work on this, whatever the case is, I appreciate that.
And you have to understand, with all the regulation that city is going to plan, we probably would not have the full capacity and none of the establishment there will have the full capacity. And you have to understand what's going to happen in the future. And a lot of business, they're going to shut down, and we're willing to be there, stick it out, doesn't matter. We have done that for the last 8 years, and we can do it again. But we just need an opportunity, and I understand what has happened to everybody there. But please give us an opportunity. What happened?
I move to vote. I move to vote on this at some point.
So again, Joran?
A motion to go to a vote on this.
Motion, second. Any second?
Second.
Any second. This motion is going to go to a vote. Gerard, please call the vote.
Okay, so this is for item number 7. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes. Gerard votes yes. Cindy?
Yes.
Rosie?
Yes.
Rosie?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Waldiz?
Yes.
This passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank
Next
you,
up, item 8.
Gerard, for the vote. This passes unanimously. Alex, Naomi, welcome to the community.
Thank
This is
you.
a community that is in need, but not begging. We want to be respected. We want to be integrated, and we hope that we're going to be respected. I know that you probably bring lots of resources. We're going to welcome you. We're going to work with the 34th precinct. We're going to work with the residents, and I hope that the merchants around the area will welcome you as well.
Thank
So
you very much.
congratulations.
It's an honor to be accepted. Thank you.
Remember that you have to submit a copy of the contract and follow up with Rosie. We're going to follow
Yes,
up.
I will.
We're going to hire locally. Officer Fan, I hope that we come to a middle ground on this particular agenda topic. Let's see how we move, but we're going to work together.
Well, as long as they're a benefit to the community, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We now want to move to the next agenda item, which is 104 Dyckman Corporation, doing business as a pregame Dyckman. Can I have representative by raising your hand so Jonathan can unlock you so you'll be able to speak? For the record, sir, please give us your name and tell us your affiliation to this particular establishment.
It's Robert Swetnick. I'm the attorney, and also the proprietor, Sheila Santana, is, I know she heard it, but I don't know if you can unlock her to participate.
Jonathan, can you unlock Sheila? Very well. So this is on 104 Dyckman Street. This is where the previous Castro Lounge used to be located at. Based on what I recall from this establishment, it has been closed for a while. And we'll go into the specifics later on. But Robert, you are the attorney.
Okay, thank you. What they want to do is basically, it's a small establishment. It has a capacity of 74. They don't even want to use the full capacity.
Okay, just give me 1 second, Robert. Who's the owner?
Sheila Santana, the person you were unlocking.
Santana should be the owner, right?
Correct.
Very well. So let's go through specific questions. In some of them, you'll be able to answer yes or no.
All right.
And then later on, the president is going to ask some questions. President is not going to ask some questions. Then the committee is going to make the decision. Very well. So this is a full liquor license that you're requesting, right, Robert?
Full liquor license for a sports bar, correct.
What's the capacity there?
The capacity, well, the capacity is 74, but the seating is less.
Very well. So this is within 500 feet where there'll be a 500-foot rule. I understand that Parrilla is there, 809 is there, Dyckman Billiard is there. So you already have 3 establishments that have a license. And for the new members, anytime there is an area that has 3 or more licenses within the vicinity, at least 500 feet, there will be a special hearing separate from the SLA, I mean, within the SLA, but they have to bring something that is unique to that particular vicinity. So they cannot be like all serving arroz, habichuela, and carnes. Cannot happen, right? Otherwise, the liquor license will not move forward. So just a point of clarification there. So now, Robert, let's go over the method operation.
Okay.
Will you have a jukebox?
No.
DJ?
They want the opportunity to have one if somebody wants one for a private party, yes.
Very well. Karaoke?
Probably one karaoke night a week, yes.
Live music?
Only for a private party if someone wants it again. We want the opportunity that we can tell them they can have it.
Very well. Are you going to have a third-party promotions there?
They're promoters? No.
No third-party promotions. Are you going to have sound limit installed? I think
Yes.
Will the place be properly soundproofed?
We hope it is being soundproofed. Hopefully it's properly.
Very well. Will you require security personnel, the establishment?
They have a contract. Most nights they probably won't need it, but they have a contract that if there's a World Cup soccer, a World Series, some kind of a major event, they will have it then.
So it'll be like special occasions, right?
Correct.
Very well. How many cameras are you going to have in the establishment?
I believe the number is, I saw it here, I believe it's 13, but I may correct it if I find where it is on their questionnaire.
And Robert, the security personnel, how many do you intend to have when you do have them?
Probably they would have three or four. 3 should be sufficient.
Very well. You're not gonna have any rooftop, patio, garden, right?
No, no outside area.
Very well. Now let's go into the hours of operations as you are requesting. So can you
The hours of operation is because it's a sports bar and because they are now talking about doing a lot of the games on the West Coast and doing them as double headers to try to make up. They would like to be able to stay open until 2 a.m. Sunday through Wednesday, and then 3 a.m. on the other days. But basically, it's really ought to be, we'll say 1 hour after a game is over. But we don't know when that's going to be. And we can't do a license that way. And I cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Say, unmute yourself.
Thank you. So we're not gonna have it like that. We cannot have until game ends. God knows if we finish at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not gonna fly. So tell me precisely the hours that you wanna have, let's say on the weekends. And the weekends, please define what, if it's Thursday, if it's Friday.
Again, we don't know what they're going to be doing with how they're going to be playing the game. So we were asking for 3 a.m., knowing to be safe, but it's probably going to be closed perhaps at 1 a.m., but we don't know when anybody's going to schedule anything.
So this is at 3 a.m. across the board?
It was 2 a.m. during the week, 3 a.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much. How many tables are you gonna have inside? How many chairs?
Let me just look that up for you again. So I don't get it wrong. It is 18 tables, 48 seats, and 11 at the bar.
Go slowly. What? How many tables again?
18 tables, seating for 48, plus 11 bar stools.
Very well. Question. What is the experience of the person that is going to manage in this establishment?
Who is going to be, Sheila Santana is going to be there on a regular basis, and then she's going to hire, well, she's interviewed 2 gentlemen already that I've met to assist her.
Okay. So now I'm going to open up the floor to the precinct, and then we're going to have access to allow the residents to see if they have any complaints. Then we're going to come back to committee. Officer Detective Pena, this is with the Private 34 precinct. This used to be where Castro used to be at. Close to 809, close to that pool place on the second floor. What is the opinion of the 34 precinct?
But one of the questions I have is, these are the same owners though, correct? From Castro, because we've been talking with them. You know I've had conversation with that they were going to rebrand and reopen, but they're the same ones, right, Mr. Swetney?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
She's told me she's never she's been in the parking lot business before this.
Okay, so it's not no previous engagement with our previous owner?
No, it's a new lease, new everything.
That was not the information that we had. But anyway, when this was Castro, this location was closed multiple times due to serious Department of Health violations that were off the spectrum of dirty. The license was canceled by the SLA. There's numerous violations there from the SLA at that location. They've been inspected by the SLA. There was one of the things was that they were non-bona fide, so they're supposed to be a restaurant and they were never operating as a restaurant. In fact, they never even had a functioning restaurant, a functioning kitchen inside the building. There was illegal electric hookups inside there. And as far as my knowledge is, these are the same owners. I mean, that's what I was of the understanding. It's the same owners that were at Castro, is that after the license was canceled, that they were going to be rebranding and reopening.
I don't know who they were, so I don't know who had Castro or what it was. I know that they have a full kitchen, they have a full menu, hamburgers, steaks. It's light food, chicken wings, salads. And again, they're putting up a bunch of TVs, and it's a sports bar. It's a small place. Obviously not a club.
Robert, I'd like to hear from.
Hold on, I can't hear both of you.
You're looking to put a sports bar with a late closing time at a location where at nighttime in the summer, you got all those places. Again, it's another place, another area where you have all these businesses closing at the same time, massive amounts of people in the street, intoxicated, fights, traffic congestion. When Castro was open, it was not a positive place for the community. It should have been. It was a good place. It was the idea of the business was great, and it should have been a positive for the community, but it was not run properly. And it was our understanding that these are the same owners, and if they're the same owners or have any affiliation with the previous owners, we're not very comfortable with that at all.
Well, I am sure if that turns out to be the case, you're going to shut them down right away, which is fine. I mean, I know what I've told them.
Shut businesses down. The SLA does. That's a common misconception. We don't shut anybody down.
You'll give them violations, they will be shut down. But I mean, this is a place that what they want a sports bar. It's got nothing to do with I'll say a club. The hours right now are only because they really don't know when these games are going to be over, and it's going to be very difficult if people are sitting there watching a game and it's the 8th inning or 7th inning to say to them that we got to shut down now. Probably again, if it goes back to regular hours of the sports season, they're going to be closed well before that, but no one knows, and that's not what it looks like now.
Well, I don't think the community should have to be put in a position to, bend the rules for that or do something that they may not be comfortable with because the business model doesn't fit right now.
Well, I don't know anyone's asking to bend any rules. They're allowed to be open till 4 o'clock. They're not asking that.
Sid, unmute yourself.
Thank you, Rob. What can I do without you? So, Robert, I think that I would like to listen from the owner herself.
Sure.
Because if the precinct has concerns about the possibility that the same owner of Castro will be the same owner of this new establishment, there are many, many concerns.
I don't even know who owned Castro, but speak to her.
We want to listen from the merchant herself. We want to know it's not commitment.
Go ahead.
Where is she?
I thought you unmuted her.
Jonathan, see if someone is raising his or her hand. Or you know what? Unmute everyone to see if we can hear her out. Sheila, right?
Sheila Santana.
I just don't see the name on the list.
Robert, what are the four last digits of the phone? So Jonathan can identify that number correctly.
7660.
Jonathan, please check those last four digits. Robert.
Hello, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
We can hear
Hello,
you.
can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great, finally. Thank you very much.
Sheila,
All right, so, yeah, I don't know, for some reason my phone wasn't working properly. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sheila Santana.
Sheila.
Yes.
Calm down. You're going to introduce yourself. It's not a problem.
Okay.
But I want you to go specific to the concerns that we have as a community so that we go straight to the point.
Okay.
You got 1 minute.
Sheila.
Okay, no problem. Yes.
How can you be timing me when I have not even been finished?
I'm sorry.
Sheila, there is a concern within the precinct and the community because we're not sure if the same owner from Castro is the same owner.
No, I don't have no affiliation with the previous owner. I don't even know who it was, the previous owner from Castro.
There's a concern about the kitchen that there was, and Castro didn't have a kitchen and they have many problems. What have you done for the kitchen if you're going to be serving alcohol?
Okay, me and the landlord, we fixed the kitchen. Right now we have a full kitchen where we're going to be serving traditional bar food like chicken wings, burgers. We're going to have plates. And also something that I want to mention is also we're going to have healthy food. So right now we have a full kitchen.
Sheila, you have a fully functioning kitchen as we speak.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you have a fully functioning kitchen right now?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Continue.
She doesn't have video, so she doesn't know if you have a question or not.
So Officer Pena, there is a statement saying that they don't know the former ownership. There's a management team, and something that I'm going to request is for them to send us pictures of the full kitchen to make sure that I do have a full kitchen. But please, Pena, please proceed.
Yeah, just one of the questions with that is, I mean, if they, I don't know how you don't know who they bought the business from, who the previous owners were, because you had to buy it from somebody. But also, I'm looking at Instagram, and Castro Bar Uptown, which is at 104 Dyckman Street, is still posting on Instagram for that account up to 7 hours ago.
4 hours?
So if they're not affiliated, I don't know why they would be posting. Yeah, it's a Castro Bar Uptown with that address of 104 Dyckman Street. If they're not affiliated with that business anymore, I don't know why they would be posting under that Instagram account.
No place.
Well, anybody can manage a page from Instagram. That could be a fake page.
No, this is the one I've been following for years.
All right, but it would be closed now anyway, so why would someone be posting?
It's just a question I have.
I don't have no idea why.
It makes no sense for anyone to post, even if it was the old people, because it's closed.
It's just a question I have. Like I said, I'm asking your client that question.
All right, well, obviously we don't know.
Yeah, no problem.
Just a question.
Because there's a concern about perhaps this Castro, the former ownership, might have access to the Instagram that they're still posting, right? But the question to you, Sheila, is do you have any direct connection to previous ownership?
No, I don't.
Thank you. Let's move forward. I'm sorry, Detective Fana. Proceed, please.
No, that's all I have.
Okay. Do we have any questions now from the residents? Comments? Waldis, do we have any comments? Questions?
Not necessarily. Just I know that that area specifically is known for like a lot of double parking and things to that degree. Typically because especially like in the late nights. So is there any way? I mean, what is your response to like I guess potentially I guess limiting that to some sort of capacity, and like how could or yeah.
Well, you know, they can't obviously control the patron parking. Hopefully they're not going to be double parking. You know, there's no valet that they're having, and the capacity is less than the legal capacity of the restaurant.
Remind me, what's the capacity right now for what was approved the occupancy?
74 is the approved occupancy.
Got it.
And they have about 58, about 60, 59 to be exact.
And the hours of operation is until what time again?
Well, they're looking for 2 o'clock and then 3 o'clock on the weekends, but they would do less once they know what the sports schedules are.
Got it.
Do I have any questions or the question from committee members?
I think a clarification. The permit ended last month, is that correct?
I didn't hear what you said.
Did the permit end last month?
The permit?
Yes, for, wait, let me. Actually, never mind. It's a new, never mind.
Gerard, Robin, Ashley.
I'm good.
Okay, so I'm
good,
going
ready to vote.
some steps with this establishment. Cindy, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. There were a lot of issues with Castro going back some years ago. The first was there was not a functioning kitchen. You can't have alcohol without a kitchen.
No problem.
So I would like for you to send us copies or pictures of the kitchen.
Okay.
Second will be a good neighbor sign posted in front of the establishment. Third will be a phone number, someone that can be called and will address any issues within the community residents. 4, that you have portable metal detectors when you have activities that might require the attendance or participation of security guards. I will also ask that you would not have valet parking.
Okay, question for you. Just on the sign, as soon as you want the sign to say no double parking, correct?
Yes.
All right, where can we legally post it? Because other people have posted things on city property and they get summonses for it.
Not on sidewalk, not on the streets, but you can have a huge, very big sign to make sure that that is visible.
Right, but I'm not being, it's not a problem. I'm just saying theoretically, where would we put it?
On your wall, somewhere on your wall. I know one of the place is small.
Inside the premises?
I'm not asking you for a big banner. I know the place is small, but at least I would say 17 by 14.
But you're saying you want it on the inside of the premises, not when they pull up?
Right.
All right.
And again, you know, we want to be good neighbors here.
No, so do we, but I'm just saying, I thought it would be better if they see it when they pull up and they're outside rather than when they're already in.
No, the only issue with
you know your clients. Once you see your clients coming up and you see that they're double park, just call them out.
Yeah, well, if they see that, okay.
In terms of legality, you can't have a sign outside on the sidewalk.
Okay.
You get fined for that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So post it somewhere on your wall that is clearly visible. Based on those 5 steps, and remember, the pictures have to be sent to the office no later than 26th of this month.
Okay. 526.
Committee members, do you have any issues before we go to vote with set 5 steps?
Just one clarification. You want a good neighbor sign and a sign for parking, right?
Yes. And a phone number for the residents to call.
All right, then, and again, what do you mean by a good neighbor sign?
Cindy, will you be able to send that over?
Yeah.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just need an email for you, Robert.
Okay, you want me to give it to you now?
Yes, please.
Okay, it's R Swetnick, RSWETNICK at Dunnington, DUNNINGTON.com.
Very well.
Thank you.
Gerard, I think that if there are no further comments, I would like to move for a vote. Gerard?
Second.
Yeah, let's go straight to the vote.
Ready to vote?
Yes, please.
All right. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
And this is for item 8, yes? Yeah. Okay. I am abstaining from this. Cindy?
Yes.
Cindy? Cindy's yes?
I vote yes.
Rosie?
Yes.
Yes. Robin?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And Waldiz?
Yes.
Motion passes.
What's the vote, Gerard?
Congrats.
Thank you.
It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yes and abstention.
Very well.
I'll shoot a picture of this to you, Isidro, the vote.
Thank you so much. So in essence, the next 2 applicants have withdrawn the application from the floor. Will not entertain them. I believe that they might show up next month. And there are Chipotles coming over to 180th and Broadway, and another one coming to 157th and Broadway. So those will be postponed until the next month. Just one last word. I'm really grateful to other precincts for their efforts, and as a first responder, thank you so much to the officers there. Officer Penna, we're very grateful and very proud of the work that you have done. The same applies to the territorial precinct. This is going to be a transition for our community, for our city, and we're going to be a hope of light, that we can work together, that we can push this community together for the better of everyone, not just one small circle of people. It's going to take a lot, but we have more than the resources. We have the people, we have the commitment, and I believe that we have wealth of resources as a community. I often say that the small merchants here make what this community is all about. It makes us unique. It makes us special. And that's why we have people coming over from different places. And I'm glad that everyone is part of this. And I'm very grateful once again, Officer Penna, for your work and the precinct. And in due time, we're going to give you perhaps a standing ovation or perhaps a cake. But the essence will be to spend time together, because I think that when we spend time together, we get to know who's who. And perhaps some of the misconceptions that we might have, even as people, will die down once we get to interact at that level. And I think that we are more than capable of interacting at that level. So again, thank you so much as a first responder, Officer Penna.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, committee members. Have a good night. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Isidro, I have my hand up. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, before you leave, Natalie has the floor. I'm sorry. Thank you, Rosie.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. I was trying to follow whatever we were following here and raise my hand just to make a quick announcement.
from over here in Inwood, east of Broadway, that will never need any cleaning, just letting you know. But I did want to, since a lot of the, this does kind of overlap with some of the stuff in your committee, and primarily reaching out to the folks in arts and culture. But if you go to nycgo.com, anybody who's having any kind of a virtual experience, whether it's a performance or a gallery exhibit, but also nightlife is also participating in this. And we want to make sure that the spots that are places that are north of 125th are being included and logging on. So Isidro, I will include you in an email to the arts and culture partners so that you can also share that with a lot of these businesses that have art as part of their business model. Because we'd like to see, we know it's a very hard time, and we'd like to see the continuation of that partnership. Once again, I thank you all. You all did an amazing job. These are difficult circumstances, but you're on the ball, and I hope to see you all soon.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you for your support, and of course, the Office of Kelbu as well. Thank you so much. Rosie.
It's more of a technological question if anybody knows how to transcribe the meeting, just because since I'm taking minutes, there may be a couple of things that I'm missing out. I'd appreciate it if anybody knows how to do that through this.
Can I just mention that Zoom, some community boards have their Zoom meetings with closed caption, and so it provides both. When you exit the meeting, you get an MP4 of the video recording. You get the transcript of that chat if you have the chat feature, and you get the transcript of the closed caption.
Thank you so much, Natalie. That helps a lot. Jonathan, will you be able to facilitate Rosie? Perhaps she can grab the recordings and the transcriptions of it so she can do the minutes. Will she have access to these recordings? Jonathan.
Well, the video is actually on our channel, so she can go ahead and get it from there.
Okay.
If you want, I can also share the link at the end of the meeting with her.
So Jonathan, can you please share the link with Rosie? You should have her email address. It's on the community board directory, so please be kind enough and share that with Rosie.
Sure, I can share with her the
Very
link
well.
of the.
Are there any hands up, any other comments before we adjourn? Seeing that,
everybody.
do I have a motion to adjourn? Suspend the meeting?
Second. Motion.
Motion. All those in favor? Aye.
I'm in favor.
Thank you so much, guys.
Good everyone.
Stay healthy. God bless you.
Everybody.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Bye.